Belinda, I'm bringing some colleagues home from work today. Have dinner and drinks ready. About 5 or 6 people. Make sure there's enough beer in the fridge.
Wait, are you serious? What do you mean? I just gave birth to Fiona last month. When were you planning to tell me this?
Just did. What's the problem? You're home all day anyway.
There's no way I can handle that right now. You already told him they could come over, didn't you?
Of course I did. We were discussing plans at lunch. Everyone's excited to see the baby, too.
It's too late to cancel? Please just uninvite them. I've told you I'm sleep deprived every day, and I'm still not feeling well. Fiona was up 3 times last night.
How long are you gonna keep using that excuse? It's been over a month since you gave birth. Are you planning to just laze around forever? The house is a mess and you're half-assing meals. Didn't you just go out with the baby? What are you talking about? You had energy for that.
That was for Fiona's checkup. I'm not lazing around. The doctor said I need more rest.
Yes, you are. You're so lazy. You don't make meals every day, do you? And you don't clean the bathroom. That's the bare minimum for a housewife. It's part of your job. I work all day to support this family. Plus, you're still fat even after giving birth. You won't lose weight because you keep snacking. When was the last time you even exercised?
I'm up for hours every night to nurse. I try to do housework in between. I don't even have time to sleep properly, let alone think about my own health. The doctor said weight loss should wait until I'm healed.
What, you don't think all moms manage that? My coworker's wife has 3 kids. She keeps their house spotless. You only gave birth to 1. What are you whining about? I let you stay home all day, so do your job properly. Stop making excuses.
Our situation might be different from theirs. If they have 3 kids, maybe the husband helps with chores and childcare. Comparing me to others isn't helping. When was the last time you changed a diaper?
Anyway, you need to shape up. That's women's work. I'm telling you, it's really not possible today. You still have time before I get home. Do it. Don't embarrass me. I'm bringing them no matter what you say. I'm not asking, I'm telling you. Remember that if the house isn't ready when I get there. And wear something nice, not those baggy clothes.
I haven't even had time to shower today. The baby's been fussy all morning.
Not my problem. Figure it out. And make sure there's enough food. Nothing microwaved. I want to show them what a good wife I have.
I'm barely keeping up with daily meals. How am I supposed to cook for 6 extra people?
Order something if you have to. Just don't make me look bad. We'll be there at 7. My boss might come too. This could be good for my promotion.
You're thinking about promotions? I can barely stand up straight.
Everything I do is for this family. You should be more supportive.
Supportive? When was the last time you supported me? You didn't even come to the last pediatrician appointment.
I had an important meeting. Stop guilt-tripping me. Make sure everything's perfect. Don't mess this up.
This is the worst. All because of you. Your friends stayed until 2 a.m. What the hell? You won't even get out of bed to make breakfast. Who do you think you are? You were up late making noise with your friends last night. Your loud singing woke the baby 3 times. Because of that, Fiona couldn't sleep and kept crying. I couldn't sleep until daybreak. The kitchen is still a mess from your party. Empty beer cans everywhere.
Why didn't you clean up last night? That's what a good hostess would do.
I was trying to calm our crying baby while you were doing karaoke.
I was entertaining my guests. That's important for my career.
There are cigarette burns on the couch. Who's going to pay for that?
Stop being so materialistic. It's just furniture.
That we just bought with the money I saved before giving birth.
I was late because you didn't wake me up, and there was no breakfast. Is this how you treat the breadwinner? My head hurts and I needed food before work.
I just gave birth. My body is a wreck. I'm not sleeping from taking care of the baby. I'm still in bad health. And you bring your coworkers here to party until night. They kept asking me to join in. I had to keep refusing while serving them. Is that how you treat your wife who just had your child?
Don't be dramatic. You barely did anything. I ordered most of the food anyway. You just had to serve it. I'm the one paying for this house. I can bring over whoever I want, whenever I want, no questions asked. My house, my rules. Throwing your weight around just because you popped out one kid? I made that kid too, you know. All you did was carry her for 9 months.
I'm not throwing my weight around at all. I'm just asking for basic consideration. Your friends were smoking inside too, with a newborn in the house.
It was raining outside. What did you expect them to do? Stop being so uptight. Could you say the same thing to my mom? My mom raised us siblings all alone as a widow. Dad died young and she did all the housework and childcare herself. She even started her own company while taking care of 3 kids. And you can't handle 1?
Saying that doesn't change that I'm not your mom. You're just saying my ability is low then. Don't slack off just because you can't do it yourself. Your mom probably had help. Or at least didn't have a husband making things harder.
Watch your mouth. I'm telling you to try harder. You don't have enough motivation. Oh, how could I forget? You don't have parents. You can't work hard because you never saw your parents working hard. No wonder you're so useless. No role models growing up.
You didn't have to put it that way. You know I grew up in foster care. Why would you throw that in my face?
All right, I'll do you a big favor then. I'll call my mom over. She'll show you how a real woman handles things.
What, you're telling me to be nagged by your mom? You're going to call your mom over when I'm like this? The house is a mess from your party. And you want your mother to see this?
Just wait. She'll come home to this mess. Dishes piled up, unwashed, laundry, and you say you're trying your best? We need to whip you back into shape. Mom will know what to do with you.
Please stop. I really can't handle that. Please, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Forgive me. I'll clean everything up. Just don't call your mother.
Shut up. Too late. Already texted her. Curse your useless self. I never should have settled for a good-for-nothing wife. Maybe Mom can teach you how to be a proper woman, since your own mother couldn't. Oh wait, that's right. You wouldn't know about that. Mom, got a minute?
What's up? Is everything okay?
Actually, I have a favor to ask. It's about Belinda. I need your help with something.
Is something wrong with Belinda? She must be busy with the new baby, so I haven't reached out much. But she's doing okay, right? How's my granddaughter?
Oh, yeah, she's fine. The baby's fine, too. She's just been loafing around so much. It's so frustrating how little she does, acting all high and mighty just because she gave birth. Nothing gets done around the house anymore.
What do you mean nothing gets done? With a newborn, that's normal.
She makes excuses for everything and skips out on housework constantly. I reprimand her, but she just whines that she doesn't feel well. It's a pain. The house is always a mess. She doesn't cook proper meals. So, Mom, I need you to set her straight. Really let her have it. Whip her back into shape. I'm telling you, she does nothing but slack off. No matter what I say, she won't listen. I know you're busy, Mom, but please, I'm begging you. You managed 3 kids on your own. She can't even handle 1.
I see. It sounds like things have gotten quite bad. Seems like a hopeless situation. You want me to come over today?
Yes, please. She needs to learn from you. It really is. At this point, I'm wondering if it might be better to just divorce that lazy bum. It's been a whole month since she gave birth. This is ridiculous. Acting spoiled just because she had a baby. Even had the nerve to complain about my work friends visiting. They stayed late having drinks. She blamed me for the baby crying.
Your friends were over? When was this?
Last night, just a small work gathering. She barely had to do anything. I ordered most of the food. She doesn't even dress up anymore, always in those baggy clothes.
She just gave birth. What do you expect her to wear?
My friend Mark's wife...
Stop comparing her to others.
But Mom, you always taught us about appearances.
I taught you about respect, too.
She doesn't respect me. Didn't even serve my friends properly.
I understand. I'll contact Belinda right away.
Thanks, Mom. You're a lifesaver. That's my mom for you. Always know you'll back me up.
I really hope Belinda gets a bitter dose of reality from me. But don't blame me if your relationship falls apart because of it.
That's fine. I don't think I can stay with a Belinda who won't even listen to you. Do what you must. Show her how a real woman handles things.
Got it. Leave it to me.
She needs to learn, just like you taught us growing up. Remember how you always said no excuses?
Oh, I remember everything. I'll be there in an hour.
Hey, Belinda, what the hell? Where are you? You got a call from my mom, right? Why aren't you answering my calls? So why is the house still a mess? You didn't even make me dinner! I've just about had it with you. At least clean up from last night. Mom will be here soon.
That makes two of us. You have zero understanding of how hard childbirth is, or how difficult it is. Having drinking parties with a newborn in the house?
It's childbirth, it's not cancer. Like I said this afternoon, you should learn from my mom. Don't slack on chores when you only birthed one kid. I'll divorce you if you keep this up. Where are you anyway? Answer me!
You stupid, brainlet moron!
Is that any way for a wife to talk to her husband, your provider? You've lost your mind. Just wait until Mom gets here.
You still don't get it. This is your mother. But I'm using Belinda's phone. I'm with Belinda right now.
Oh, I see. I get it. So you took her back home to put her in her place, right? Finally, someone will teach her. She needs discipline.
Wrong. I'm at Belinda's to protect her, actually. I've been here for an hour, seeing everything for myself.
Protect Belinda? Huh? Protect her from what? She's the one causing problems.
Protecting her from my stupid, good-for-nothing son, obviously. Just what do you think you're doing? Do you have any idea how you've treated Belinda after she gave birth to your child? I saw the beer cans. And the leftover takeout containers, still sitting here from your party.
Those aren't mine! The guys brought their own food!
I can read the receipt. You charged it to our family card.
I'll pay it back!
That's not the point. I smelled the cigarette smoke. In a house with a newborn.
Wait! Aren't you on my side, Mom? You're supposed to help me fix her! This isn't what we discussed!
Huh! When did I ever say I was on your side? You said Belinda was hopeless. You're the hopeless one. I never imagined my grown son would corner his kind wife like this. She's in tatters, poor thing. I should have stepped in sooner, if anything. I should have helped more with childcare. Instead of believing your lies.
Wait, Mom, aren't you misunderstanding something? Belinda must have tricked you. She's manipulating you.
Misunderstanding? The only thing I misunderstood was your character.
Belinda has been half-assing housework ever since giving birth. She just loafs around at home all day doing nothing. You always taught us about working hard, about not making excuses.
You've got it backwards, you idiot. Do you have any idea how much giving birth drains you physically and mentally? She's putting her life on the line to raise your child. Don't you dare take childbirth lightly. Of course, she can't do housework right after giving birth. I see the bottles she's prepared, the clean baby clothes. She's doing everything while you party.
Mom, you're overreacting.
Mom, you're overreacting. Me? You're the one who's overreacting. You stupid, brainless son! Anyway, I'm going to take care of Belinda and my grandchild. Don't bother contacting Belinda. She needs rest, not your harassment.
Wait, what about my food? What about the house? Who's gonna take care of everything?
Is your brain just for decoration? Figure that out yourself, like your father did.
What do you mean? Dad worked hard at his job.
Your father worked hard at everything, including being a husband and father.
But you always said you did everything alone after he died.
Yes, after he died. But when he was alive, he was twice the man you are.
What are you talking about?
Want to know what your father did when I was recovering after your birth?
Mom, that's different.
He took 2 weeks off work, cooked every meal, let me rest.
But times were different then.
Yes, they were. Men were more mature back then. Your father worked full-time. And still cooked dinner 3 times a week. Changed diapers. Did laundry. Cleaned the house.
But that's women's work.
Says who? Your father was a real man. He understood partnership.
But you're always talking about doing it alone!
Yes, because he died. I had to do it alone because I had no choice. But when we were partners, we shared everything.
I don't believe you!
Look in the family albums. Photos of your father cooking, bathing you kids, reading bedtime stories, while I worked late sometimes.
But... On a night where clouds hide the stars, my heart too has lost its guiding light. Because I can't see my star, Belinda. My heart is overcast. Please come back home. Are we going to be like Romeo and Juliet, with my mother as the fate keeping us apart? I miss you. And Fiona.
Listen to your mother, Ryan. Your attempts at poetry are pathetic. Nice typos, by the way. You get typo-prone when you're desperate, huh? You really want to see me, don't you?
The house is so quiet! I miss hearing Fiona, even that!
Now you miss it? After complaining every night?
I was stressed from work. I said things I didn't mean.
You meant every word. That's why I'm leaving. I'm divorcing you, Ryan.
Wait, no! Divorce? Are you crazy? No way! You can't live without me! Who's gonna support you? Think about Fiona!
I can live better without you. You're just in the way. Of me and Fiona both.
Hey, don't decide things on your own. Come back and we can talk!
Actually, I've been thinking about it since I was pregnant. I never asked to be treated special just because I was pregnant, but you never understood. Not even once. It got worse after I gave birth. It's always about you. No matter how many times I asked, you wouldn't help with housework or childcare. You just put me down. But I don't have parents. I thought I couldn't get divorced, but I finally realized that was wrong. It's not that I can't get divorced. Whether to divorce or not was a matter of my own resolve.
If we get divorced, you'll have to raise our kid alone. You'll have to work while doing housework and childcare. You can barely manage now. What are you saying? Look, just stay quietly married to me. I'll change, I promise. I'll start therapy, anger management classes, whatever you want.
It's too late for that. I needed a partner, not another child to raise.
That's not fair. I can change.
You had 9 months while I was pregnant, plus 1 month after. You chose not to. I can't anymore. I don't want to be with you for another second. I realized I'll be fine without you. Your mother showed me that.
Look, let's talk about this. I'll help out a little with housework and childcare. How's that? I'll learn to cook like Dad did.
No way. A single-parent home wouldn't work out. Your mom was a single mom, right? Can you say the same thing in front of her?
No.
Anyway, I've said what I needed to say. I'm leaving the rest to your mother and my lawyer. You just need to agree to the divorce.
Mom, talk some sense into Belinda. She's saying she'll divorce me.
I know. I agree with her.
Why? You're my mother.
I didn't want to admit it, but yes, I'm your mother. You were raised in a 2-parent home, so I thought you'd cherish your wife. I never imagined it would come to this.
But, Mom, you raised us siblings alone and started a company. You're the president now, but Belinda is losing it after just having 1 kid.
You're misunderstanding. It's true that I raised you alone after your father passed. But when you were babies, when your father was still alive, he helped a ton with childcare and housework. Your father cooked, washed dishes, did laundry, changed diapers, cleaned the bath. He did the shopping, made dinner, everything. Don't you dare compare your father to a useless man like you. Your father cherished the mother of his children, unlike you.
But I work too!
Everyone works. You're not the King of England just because you work. Don't act so high and mighty just for having a job.
I mean, I don't have time to help out.
That's because you suck at time management, you incompetent fool.
You're going that far?
I have to spell it out for a moron who doesn't get it otherwise.
I provide everything! The house, the car, everything!
Provide what? A hostile environment? A stressed mother? A home full of cigarette smoke?
You're exaggerating!
Am I? Should we count the beer cans? Should we look at the baby's room? Where you store your golf clubs? I was shocked when I heard from Belinda. Apparently, you even had a drinking party at home at a time like this. You're truly a stupid, inconsiderate, arrogant idiot with no humility or gratitude.
But you said childbirth isn't an illness!
I told you childbirth is life-threatening, right? It's not an illness, but it causes major damage to the body. I don't expect you as a man to fully understand. But if you had any compassion for Belinda, this wouldn't have made me angry. That's why you should separate from Belinda. A kind person like Belinda doesn't deserve an idiot like you. And so, I had Ryan's mother convince him to divorce me. Currently, rumors of Ryan's divorce are spreading at his workplace. The people who attended his home drinking parties are facing troubles too, getting chewed out by their bosses. Recently, he's been sending me WhatsApp messages boasting about working hard on housework, aiming to remarry me. But that wish will surely never come true, because I'm living a very fulfilling life now. I'm also studying for certifications so I can be independent. Ryan's mother has vowed to fully support a hard-working Belinda like me from now on.
Yo, Celine. Looks like I'm getting out of work early today. How about you make me that thing I like? You haven't made it for me in forever.
That thing you like? I don't suppose you could be a bit more specific.
You know, that thing. The tater tots and the meat and stuff.
Oh, you mean tater tot casserole.
Yeah, that's it. Your tater tot casserole is great. It feels like it's been forever since you made it for me. So, I want that for dinner tonight.
I'm sorry, Sawyer. I don't think I'm gonna have time to put that together today.
What? Why not? You still have the whole afternoon.
Well, yes, but remember, the twins are going in for a checkup today. So I doubt I'd have time to whip it together, even if you weren't coming home early. Not to mention, I don't have any ground beef on hand, so I'd have to run out to the store for that.
Come on, Celine, really? I never ask you to make things for me like this. You can make it work somehow, can't you?
Well, would you mind eating a little bit later than usual? How about you look after the twins for a while for me after you get home? I can make it then if you want. I'll have to pick up ground beef on the way home from the doctor, but I should have it baked and ready within about an hour and a half or so.
An hour and a half? I don't want to wait that long. Why do you think I went out of my way to text you just now? I want it ready on the table right away when I get home.
Sawyer, you do realize what kind of situation I'm in right now, don't you? I just gave birth to twins, and I've been both taking care of them and doing all the housework all by myself ever since. I'm absolutely exhausted, Sawyer.
Oh, and you think I have the easy life, do you? You think I'm not putting in my all every day at work? I come home exhausted at the end of the day just like you.
I understand that, and I'm grateful, but at least you can sleep at night.
Yeah. I kinda had to if I'm gonna be able to do my job properly.
Do you know how much I'm sleeping these days, Sawyer? I'm lucky if I can get in a few hours of sleep in a night. And it's not all at once. I have to wake up every few hours or so. It's really, really hard to operate on that little sleep.
How much sleep could you possibly need? You're not working. You get to spend all day at home while I have to get dressed, drive to the office, work 8 hours, and drive back. All you're doing is taking care of a couple babies. How much work could that possibly be?
I wasn't intending to make this into a who has it worse competition. And let me just say that taking care of even just one baby is a lot of work, and I have to take care of two. I need you to help me out a little bit more, Sawyer, please. At the very least, could you just do a bit of the housework for me? Even that would be a big help.
When we got married, you said you were going to do everything you could to support me, Celine. What happened to that promise, huh?
I feel like I've done a pretty good job of that so far. Also, you have to remember that you're not the only person I need to support anymore. Remember? We have children now, Sawyer. 2 of them. Our circumstances have changed, and I think it's time the division of housework changed as well.
What are you talking about? I look after the kids. Sometimes.
Yeah, when I'm taking a bath or going to the bathroom, and looking is all you do anyway. Even if they start crying, you don't even lift a finger.
If I try to make them stop crying, all they do is cry louder. I figure it's best just to let them cry. Whatever it is they're crying about, they'll get over eventually.
I mean, yeah, sometimes. But even in the times that is the case, I'd still appreciate it if you could pick them up, give them a hug, talk to them, do something. I don't want you to be just in the same room as the kids. I want you to be actively involved in their lives.
What's the point? They're still just babies. Whatever I do with them now, they won't even remember it 10 seconds down the road. They can't walk, they can't talk, they can't even communicate at all. What would even be the point of talking to them? It would be like talking to a brick wall.
That's not true, though. It's really important for bonding to have physical contact with them and let them hear your voice. It's not about remembering it as in forming memories.
Celine, ever since the kids were born, it's like you've forgotten that I'm your husband.
What?
Every single hour of the day, you're putting the kids' needs ahead of mine. I have needs too, And who do you think it is who pays for everything around here, huh? I think you ought to be showing a bit more appreciation to me.
Sawyer, you know I'm grateful for the lifestyle you're providing for us. That's not what this discussion is about, though. No, I haven't forgotten that you're my husband or that you have needs. Have you forgotten that we have 2 newborn babies to take care of now? You work from 9 to 5, but I'm on the clock 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm on call every night.
You can take naps during the day, though.
I mean, sometimes, for a few minutes. But with 2 babies to take care of and housework to do, I rarely ever have time.
Okay, now you're just being greedy. There are all sorts of people all over the world who have had twins, even triplets and quadruplets. And each and every one of them manages to hold it together. There's no reason that you can't do it too. I'd say I'd help you out way more than most of the husbands out there.
Again, Sawyer, it's not a competition. There's no need for you to compare yourself to anyone else. They're our kids, Sawyers, not our neighbors, not your friends, ours, and that includes you. I would think you would be more willing to do as much as you could to support your own children.
Why do you think I go to work every day? That's how I'm supporting them and you, by being the breadwinner. And it's your job to support me while I support you. Today, I want you to support me by making some freaking tater tot casserole. Whatever you have to do, just get it done. Got it?
How do you expect me to do that at the same time as I'm caring for 2 infants who are less than a month old?
You can get yourself to the doctor's office for the checkups, right? You wash dishes and clean, right? If you can do that, you should be able to cook whatever I want with no problem. So stop making excuses and do what I'm telling you to do. I want my tater tot casserole on the table, ready to eat when I get home, and you will make it for me. End of discussion.
Sawyer, I just got your message. What's the meaning of this? You're not coming home anymore starting tonight? What's going on with you?
Wasn't my message clear enough? I thought I wrote it in plain English. I'm not coming home for a while. Simple as that.
How can you do that to me?
Stop playing the victim, would you? You never do anything for me. Every single day, you always use the kids as an excuse to completely disregard me and my needs as your husband. I've held my tongue for long enough. An entire month, in fact. I've been watching you to see if you really had any intentions of being a decent wife to me.
Huh?
And what a colossal waste of time that was. All you did was take care of the kids. Change their diapers, dress them, feed them, on and on and on. I wasn't even an afterthought for you. You never thought about me at all. Not only that, you're not even cleaning the house properly. Every single room is a mess. So, you don't care about me? You don't take care of the house? What reason do I have to come home to a place where I'm clearly not wanted?
Are you being serious right now, Sawyer?
I'm dead serious, Celine. You've completely abandoned me. You're spending all of your time looking after those two brats who do nothing but cry all the time. Your list of priorities is completely out of whack.
Those two brats? You're talking about our children, Sawyer. They're babies. They need us to look after them in order to survive. We're adults. We can take care of ourselves. I think it's obvious that their needs would have priorities over ours.
I know that. I'm saying that you're overdoing it. You're prioritizing them way too much.
If anything, I'd say the real problem is that you're not prioritizing them at all.
And there you go again, pretending like I'm not doing anything for the family. I'm providing as good of a lifestyle for you as you could hope for.
Babies need more than just money. A lot more than just money.
You are so bound and determined to make me out to be the bad guy?
Sawyer, I know it isn't easy to go to work every day to support us, and I'm grateful for all you do. But these are our children, and we're their parents. Don't you want to raise them together with as much love and affection as we can give them?
And when you do what you're doing right now and acting like I'm some uncaring jerk, you're just driving me away. You think I want to have to do this to you? I'm the only one trying to make this relationship work.
If you really want to do that, then why won't you simply help me out with the kids and the chores? I would have so much more free time to spend with you if you would do that for me. I could even make all of your favorite dishes if you wanted. The reason we're in the situation we're in right now is because I'm the one who has to do everything all the time.
That's it. This is pointless. I can't talk to you right now. It wasn't that long ago that everyone just took for granted that the housewife took care of everything. Our parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents all managed to make it work for that system. But I guess you're too good for that. Really, you have even less of a reason to complain, because you got appliances to do most of the hard work for you.
Good grief. All right, Sawyer, have it your way.
Can you stop playing the victim for 5 seconds?
You're the one playing the victim. You want to talk about money? Okay. Who's the one who handles all our finances, Who's the one that makes sure we're spending within our means? Who's the one who pays all the taxes, utilities, credit card bills? By the way, your credit card bill was way over our budget this last month.
You've got no right to criticize me for how I spend my money. The money I earn.
You promised that you would cut back on spending once the twins were born.
Oh, would you shut up? You would be lost without me. All you need to do is shut your big mouth and do what I say when I say.
I hate to tell you, but we would be completely fine around here without you.
Ha! We'll see about that. Once you come to me on your knees and begging me to come back home, maybe then I'll consider it. But not before I watch you squirm in misery for a while. I'm gonna make you regret the way you disrespected me. You think you'll be completely fine without me, do you? Huh, that's pretty big talk for a housewife. If I weren't there to support you, you'd be bankrupt within a week. I, however, can throw all of you aside whenever I damn well please. Well, Celine? How's it going over there without me? Have you learned your lesson yet, or do you need a little more instruction?
You know, it's one thing for you to move out of the house, but you're not even sending us any money for living expenses. Are you trying to be as much of a jerk as possible?
What were you expecting me to do? I'm not living with you three, am I? And why should I pay even a single cent of my hard-earned money to support a bunch of freeloaders who don't appreciate me?
Right. Well, Sawyer, with that, I think I've officially given up on any hope I ever had for you.
Go on, you can do it. Just say the word, Celine. I'm sorry. You know you want me to come back. Just so I'm clear, though, I'm never setting foot in that house again until I'm sure that you're going to prioritize me over those two little brats. Whenever you feel like you've suffered enough, just say those two simple words. That's all you have to do is save yourself from the situation that you put yourself in.
Oh, I'm not suffering at all. We're doing just fine, actually, so you don't ever need to come back home.
What?
Actually, I'd say that ever since you left, things have been going more smoothly than ever around here.
Okay, really? Don't you think you're going too far with the whole strong, independent woman act?
It's not an act, I mean it. Speaking of which, you still had a bunch of stuff left over here. I'm gonna go ahead and send it all over to your parents' house. One more thing, I changed the locks on the front and back doors, so your keys won't work anymore. You can throw them away.
What? Hold on. Why are you sending my stuff to my parents' house?
You said it yourself, Sawyer. You're not gonna come home until I apologize, right? Well, guess what? I am never going to apologize to you for as long as I live. There hasn't been a single second since you've been gone that I've wanted you to come back. So I'm kicking you out of my house. You do remember it is my house, right? I bought it back when I was single, so my name is on the title. So I have every right to decide who can and cannot live here.
Wait, you're not making any sense. Are you saying you want to live separately from now on?
No, I'm saying I want to divorce you.
Divorce? What's wrong with you? What are you thinking?
I was just about to ask you the same question. You tell me to prioritize you over our babies. You don't do any of the housework. You don't even look after the kids. Who in their right mind would want a husband like that? And now on top of that, you're not even giving us any more money for expenses? So what's the point of staying married to you?
Marriage isn't about money. It's about loving each other. Don't you know that song? All you need is love?
If that's the case, then I've got even more of a reason to divorce you, seeing as how I don't love you anymore.
No way. Really? But why? You mean to tell me you hate me now?
Yep. If you really loved me, you would gladly help me out with taking care of the kids. At the very least, you wouldn't act like a spoiled brat and run away from home when things didn't go your way.
That's not why I did this. It's because you never paid me any attention. You spent all of your time and energy on the kids and ignored me. I got lonely.
I'm really sick and tired of hearing that same old excuse from you. Tell me, Sawyer, whose kids am I taking care of?
Well, ours, but why do you ask?
That's right. They're our kids. So don't you think it's a little odd for me to take care of our kids all by myself? And since I'm left to do all the work with the kids by myself, I don't have time to take care of anything else. I've told you this over and over more times than I can count.
But you're their mother. Isn't it a mother's job to take care of the kids? Men like me always have our hands full of work. What, do you think all the women who take care of the kids and house by themselves divorce their husbands? Of course not. That's ridiculous. Look, Celine, you're tired, I know. You just need to calm down for a minute. You're not thinking clearly.
I know I'm tired. And whose fault do you think that is, And another thing, I am thinking very clearly. More clearly than I ever have, actually. I've been so busy taking care of the kids that I've barely had a moment alone with my thoughts until you left. And now that I finally have the space to think freely, I've made my decision.
I don't believe it. You mean you've been wanting to leave me all this time? I knew it! You did start hating me once the kids were born. I guess you think you don't need me anymore or something.
That's not true, Sawyer. I loved you. If I didn't, I wouldn't have wanted to have kids with you in the first place.
But if you love me, then why do you want me to leave now?
You haven't done anything to help me out since the kids were born. You know very well how busy I am taking care of twin babies, but you still kept getting on my back about not having the house immaculate every day. And then when you started calling our children those brats, that was the last straw. I couldn't believe you would say something like that.
I was just angry back then. I was venting. You kept prioritizing the kids over me so much and I kind of lost control.
Oh, is that how this works? You get to say anything you want, no matter how terrible, while you're angry, and I have to just forgive you? Okay, two can play at that game. You are the worst husband in the world, Sawyer. You prioritized yourself over your own infant children, ran away from the house to pout, and now you won't even send us any money at all to live on? So not only are you useless around the house, you're useless as a breadwinner too. You're not needed here anymore.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to feel like you wanted me. I wanted to hear the words, "I want you to come home."
Oh my God, you are such a pathetic little child. All of this was just a ploy for attention. Well, at the very least, I'm glad that I know now what kind of person you really are. With this, I won't have any trouble at all moving on and leaving you behind me. However, don't think I'm gonna let you get off the hook that easily. You have 2 children to take responsibility for, so you're going to be paying child support for them until they turn 18.
I'm sorry, Celine. I'm so sorry. I was acting like a total child. From now on, I'm gonna be a totally changed man. I'll help out with the housework and take care of the kids. So please, won't you give me one more chance?
I have been waiting ever since the twins were born for you to finally step up and become a father. I've been trying to give you constructive criticism this whole time to help you step into the fatherly role the kids needed. So I'd say I've already given you plenty of chances.
Celine, do you really think you're gonna be better off divorcing me? You think you could take care of the twins all by yourself?
Well, once I have to actually get a job, I bet it's going to be pretty tough. But I've managed to take care of them all by myself for this long. And without you around, I won't have to account for as much wasteful spending in my budget. My parents are going to help out with the kids after the divorce, so I'll be fine.
Wait! Why didn't you ask your parents to help you out before now? That would have solved all our problems.
You were the one who told me when we got married that you didn't want my parents hanging around the house all the time. So I'm not going to accept that criticism from you, you stupid hypocrite.
Sorry, I forgot about that. But I meant it when I said I'm going to change, Celine. Please don't leave me. I'm begging you.
My oh my, how the mighty have fallen. Didn't you say to me before that you can throw us all aside whenever you damn well please? What happened to that confidence, Sawyer? Anyway, I've given you far more time than you deserve already. I'm not giving you one more second.
You don't get it, Celine. I was never going to abandon you guys. I was just bluffing to get you to understand how I was feeling.
Even if that were the case, and I doubt it, I could never be with a man who would use abandoning his own children as a bluff. That's what they call emotional blackmail, Sawyer.
I'm really sorry for everything, Celine. Please, you have to forgive me. Let's live together again, okay? I swear to you on my life, I will be a better man this time around.
If you want me to forgive you, there's only one way to make that happen. Give me a clean divorce and pay child support. Then, you can do a lot of introspection on what a colossal moron you've been all by yourself in the cold and lonely apartment you're living in. And if you are ever even 1 second late on a child support payment, you remember. You told me that you could throw us aside? Well, I'm gonna have you thrown in jail. At his insistence, I've had a few more heart-to-heart discussions with my husband after that, but he never showed me any signs that he could actually change. He always put himself before the kids. He even suggested that we pass off the kids to my parents for a while and go on a vacation with just the 2 of us. I suppose he thought that going on a vacation together would reignite the spark we once had. However, the very fact that he would suggest such a boneheaded thing only strengthened my resolve to cut him out of my life completely. After about 6 months of him dragging his feet, I exhausted all my options of taking care of this the easy way and sued him for divorce. It took about 6 months, but now I'm finally free of him. I was worried about whether or not I would be able to divorce him at all, since he wasn't unfaithful or abusive. But I guess the fact that he was withholding his income from us was enough to get the court to side with me. After the divorce, it was like my ex-husband completely lost the will to live. All he ever did was drive straight to his office, work, and drive straight home. He never goes out anymore. He cut off contact with his friends and family, and now he just wallows in misery all day long. It seems that his feelings for me were real after all, but honestly, I can't help but feel like those feelings were ultimately self-serving. He's making all his child support payments on time, but he never talks to me at all, not even to ask about the kids. So, in other words, he's doing the exact same thing he was doing while we were still married. This makes me think that even if I did give him another chance and let him back in the house, he just would have fallen back into his old ways right away. As for me, I'm just as busy as ever. I'm looking for work, looking for a daycare to place the kids in while I'm at work, looking for government programs to help me get my new life started. It's a lot to take in, but my parents are being incredibly helpful. Plus, even Sawyer's parents are sending me gifts for the kids. Things like clothes, diapers, formulas, and all that. I guess they were just as disgusted by his behavior as I was. Taking care of twins is tough, but being a mother is the most rewarding thing I've ever done. My goal from now on is to be the very best mother I can be for them. Good afternoon, Mandy. I don't suppose you're free at the moment, are you? There's something I need to talk to you about.
Hey, Mom. It's nice to hear from you. And yes, I just started my lunch break a few minutes ago, so I can talk now. Can I help you with something?
To tell the truth, there's something that's been bothering me about you for quite some time now. Perhaps you're aware of this, but I believe your spending habits are getting increasingly wasteful.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so. If you don't mind me asking, what makes you say that?
My goodness, you mean to say you're not conscious of it? Dear me. Just this last weekend, you went on a bit of a vacation, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, that. It was my birthday, and Nathan took me on an overnight trip for a little treat to celebrate. We stayed at an adorable little bed and breakfast outside of town. I'll have to send you some of the pictures we took.
That's quite all right, dear. We still have much to discuss. For instance, the fact that you had this little vacation of yours not but 2 months after getting back from your honeymoon.
Yeah, that's why we only did an overnight stay rather than an extended 2 or 3 night stay.
And you bought a brand new car recently as well. I understand you might feel like you're financially capable of all the spending, since both of you have jobs. But to a rational observer like myself, I can't help but notice that you're being incredibly wasteful. Are you really?
Well, thank you for your concern, Mom. But I want you to know that Nathan and I are very deliberate about our spending. We're not doing any of this on a whim. We carefully plan out our finances for months in advance in order to avoid spending beyond our means.
Really now? I'm not so sure. Honestly, I feel as though my son working at a powerful and influential company is leading you to be overconfident. One must always be cautious. Even if you have plenty of money on hand now, there's no telling what the future may bring.
I totally agree, Mom, 100%. We'll continue to be careful not to get careless with how we spend our money.
Be sure you do that, dear. And you need to watch out for Nathan, do you hear me? He's such a kind and hard-working boy that he'd never admit this to you, but he tends to get stressed out rather easily. I remember one time early on in his time with the company he's currently working for, when he ended up needing to take 2 weeks off because of stress. So I want you to be sure not to add any unnecessary stress in his life. You're his wife. It's your responsibility to support him.
You can count on me, Mom. I'll take great care of Nathan. He's always been a great man to me, so I fully intend to be just as good of a wife to him.
To tell the truth, I've been quite concerned about Nathan lately. He's never acted this way before. He doesn't answer my phone calls half of the time, and even when I text him, it takes him hours to reply.
Well, Nathan's been very busy with his work for the last few weeks.
So he's been working late then?
Yeah, pretty regularly too.
Well, it does make me glad to hear that he's just as hardworking as ever. But as his mother, it still makes me worry about him. I mean, he's been busy in the past, but he's never been this difficult to get a hold of before. Mandy, would you be a dear and let Nathan know that his mother is worried about him?
Sure thing, Mom. I'll let him know when I see him later on tonight.
And don't forget to also tell him that he needs to be more prompt about getting back to me. If possible, I want replies to my text within half an hour. 1 hour at the most. Hello again, Mandy. Tell me, is my son back home from work yet?
Hi, Mom. No, he's not home yet. Is there a message you want me to give him?
Well, this is really a conversation that I wanted to have with him directly. Has he told you anything about my allowance for this month?
Not in particular, no. I was under the impression that he had already sent it, though.
The amount was much less than usual. And it's not just this month either. It's been getting gradually smaller every month for the last several months.
He's still sending you $1,500 a month, right? Combined with your Social Security payments, I think that should be more than enough for you to live on.
Are you serious? It's not even close enough. Don't tell me you forgot that I'm a widow. If I'm going to maintain my lifestyle, I'm going to need far more than just this.
I was under the impression that your husband left behind a sizable amount of assets for you when he passed.
Well, yes, he did. But like I told you before,
Who knows what the future might have in store for us? I want to make sure I have enough to cover my expenses in the event of an emergency. And I'd also like to leave as much money as possible to Nathan when I go to see my husband.
I see. But I'm sorry, Mom. There's just no way we're going to be able to increase your allowance any more than right now.
Why not? He used to send me $3,000 a month. And now he's married to you, and both of you are working. So I don't see any reason for my monthly allowance to decrease just because you got married.
But, Mom, of course our spending habits are going to change once we get married. I understand that you're concerned about the future and want to save up money in the event you need it, but we feel the same way too.
What do you have to be concerned about? You both have good jobs at good companies. How could you have any financial problems at all?
It's like you said, Mom, we don't know what the future has in store for us. It's the same reason that you don't want to dip into the money your husband left for you. Plus, we want to save as much as we can in preparation for when we decide to have kids.
I understand all of that, Mandy. But aren't you more concerned about me than yourselves? I'm an old woman who lost her husband, and I'm living all by myself. Don't you feel sorry for me having to live like a peasant?
I would say that even if your only income was the $1,500 we send you, you shouldn't have any problems making ends meet. So I have to say that present isn't quite an appropriate word for your current living situation. Even more so since your husband paid off your mortgage, so you don't have to worry about rent or anything.
You clearly have no idea how much money a person my age has to spend every month. Even the doctor's visits alone cost a fortune.
Don't you have Medicare, though?
That isn't the point. The point is you're not sending me enough money. Tell my son that he needs to go back to sending me a full $3,000 every month like before.
$100 a month should be more than enough for you. You were telling me a while ago that you were worried about my spending habits, weren't you? Maybe it's time for you to examine your own finances and see where you might be overspending.
Excuse me? Are you accusing me of some sort of spendthrift?
All I'm saying is that if you were living a normal lifestyle, the $1,500 should be sufficient.
Well, I never. How dare you speak to your own mother-in-law in such a brash tone? I'll have you know that the only reason I allowed you to marry my son was because you had a high-paying job at a respectable company like Nathan. Even then, I had my reservations. But once I knew you were going to keep your job after getting married, I held my tongue and gave my blessing.
Is that so?
Yes, it is so. If it weren't for that, I never would have accepted such an ugly, foul-mouthed girl as yourself as my daughter-in-law. The two of you make plenty of money. You've got no justification to decrease my allowance. That means the only logical conclusion to make is that you are wasting all of my son's money. I'll bet you feel so smart, having hidden your true nature until after you got married. I should have seen this coming. I knew you were fiscally irresponsible, and I wish I would have put a stop to this relationship when I had the chance.
I don't know what to tell you, Mom. I'm not wasting our money at all.
Nonsense. I saw the box for the brand new microwave you bought last month. And I saw the tags for a very expensive clothing brand in your garbage.
Wait a minute. So it was you who's been going through our garbage? That's utterly bizarre. Why would you do that?
It's your fault. You keep lying to me and saying you're not wasting money. But you can't hide anything from me, Mandy. I know what you really are now.
Mom, we've been getting complaints from the property manager that our garbage bin is a mess. Bags cut open, trash thrown all over the floor, that sort of thing. So could you please knock that off? If you do it again, I'm going to make a police report.
Silence, impudent girl. You're dodging the issue. I've been getting less money ever since you married my son. You need to stop denying it and admit that you are the one who's responsible.
I'm sorry, Mom, but I need to get back to work. Could we finish this conversation another time?
No, we cannot. I am talking and you are going to hear me out until I'm finished. You wouldn't dare put your phone down when your mother-in-law is speaking to you.
I'll talk with Nathan about your allowance and contact you again once we've made a decision.
That had better mean that you're going to start sending me $3,000 every month again. Don't forget that Nathan is my son. He'll do whatever I tell him to. If I felt so inclined, I could even get him to divorce you.
I see. I'll keep that in mind.
I think you need to be reminded just what sort of a position you're in. The only reason a pitiful girl like yourself was able to get married was because I allowed it to happen. And never forget that. Andy, you have some explaining to do. Nathan just informed me that you're not going to be sending me an allowance at all anymore. What's the meaning of this?
I'm not sure what else you want me to say that Nathan didn't already say. We're cutting off your allowance. Simple as that.
And not only that, he won't respond to any of my calls or texts anymore. I know that you're the one making him do this, you awful, awful girl. That's the only explanation that makes any sense. My son has never disobeyed me before in his life.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you're wrong. Nathan was the one who made that decision, not me.
You're lying. My dear son Nathan would never do something like this to me. The two of you have the day off from work today, correct? It's time for a family council. I'm heading over to your apartment right now. You two just wait right there.
Don't waste your time, Mom. It won't do you any good to go out to our apartment.
Huh! You think your will is stronger than mine? Clearly you underestimate me.
No, it's not about that. We don't live in that apartment anymore is what I'm trying to say. We moved.
What? You moved?
That's right.
Moved? Where did you move to? Give me your new address immediately.
I'm not giving you our new address, Mom. Not immediately, not in a few days, not ever. Both me and Nathan are more than fed up at you constantly demanding money from us.
That wouldn't be a problem if it weren't for you wasting all of your money. For goodness sake, you moved? That costs tons of money. You have to pay a moving company, put down a security deposit, pay realtors' fees. It's precisely that sort of impulsive spending that caused Nathan to reduce my allowance.
Actually, we filed our moving expenses in the medical portion of our budget, because constantly dealing with you was having a massive impact on our mental health.
I've heard enough out of you. I demand that you cease your proliferate spending this instant and restore my allowance to the full amount. Cut whatever cost you need to. That's your responsibility as his wife. All you need to do is earn money, do the housework, and shut your mouth. Did you forget that I have the power to end your marriage whenever I give Nathan the word? If you wish to remain married to my son, then you will have to pay my allowance from now on. I want a $3,000 payment in my bank account by this evening, or else you can consider yourself divorced.
I'm not paying you a dime, Mom. I just told you. We decided we're not going to give you your allowance anymore.
That's not for you to decide. That's for me and my son to decide. I won't allow any woman to come between me and my son. Cutting off my allowance was the biggest mistake you've ever made, Mandy.
Weren't you paying attention? It wasn't my decision. Your son Nathan made that decision. He's the one who handles all of our finances, so if you're upset at his decision, then you'll have to take it up with him. Oh wait, that's right. He blocked your number, didn't he?
What do you mean?
I don't really think anything needs explaining. Nathan isn't working right now, so he's the one who handles all of our financial matters. Bills, savings, investments, that sort of thing.
He isn't working? That's impossible. He wouldn't give up a prestigious job at a prestigious firm.
He did, actually. He quit his job just a short while after we got married.
I can't believe this. Why did he do that?
He couldn't handle working for that company anymore. There was constant infighting amongst his colleagues, with everyone backstabbing each other to get a marginally better chance at being promoted. Then, once they got promoted, it was right back to backstabbing and gossiping in order to ruin their rivals' chances. His direct superior was one of those people who lied, cheated, and backstabbed his way to the top, too. Sure, the pay might have been pretty good, but considering the emotional, mental, and physical damage he had to put up with, it just wasn't worth it at all.
But I don't understand. He's gotten stressed out at that company before. When it happened in the past, he just took a few weeks off. That was all he needed in order to get back into action.
No, the only reason he didn't quit right then and there was because of your constant badgering. He told me everything, Mom. Like how you would barge into his apartment every single night during his break to lecture him about this or that. You need to hold in there. Don't give up. If you quit now, you'll regret it forever, and so on. He tells me he only went back to work to get you off his back. He would rather deal with a hostile working environment than you. What does that tell you?
Are you saying that it was my fault that he had an emotional breakdown?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You contributed to his poor emotional health more than anyone at that company. Would you like me to remind you of a few other pieces of emotional abuse you threw at him? If you don't go to work, then what am I going to do? How am I going to get by? Don't you care about me? I paid for your college tuition, and this is how you repay me? What are you going to do if you quit your job, Nathan? No company would hire a quitter. I didn't raise you to be a quitter. Don't you dare humiliate me, Nathan. And so on and so forth. Put yourself in Nathan's shoes. If you were so exhausted by your own workplace that you had to take a 2-week vacation in order to preserve your mental health, and every night your overbearing mother barged into your room and shouted that sort of harassment at you, don't you think that would be, at best, unhelpful?
All I wanted was for Nathan to work hard and achieve success.
No, that's not what you wanted. Don't lie to me. You were just afraid of getting less money from him if he gave up his high-paying career. You've leached enough money out of your son already, Mom. It's time to set him free. He's given you enough money already, more than enough. Far too much, if you ask me. At the very least, he's given you far more in allowance than you spent on his college tuition.
So it's true then. Nathan really did quit his job. This is terrible. But wait, this doesn't make any sense. Up until recently, he told me he was busy with work. And so did you. You gave that as the reason he couldn't respond to my messages. But are you trying to tell me he wasn't working? Ha! I've caught you in a lie, Mandy. You were just making up that story in order to have an excuse to not send me my allowance.
Well, I guess I have to make an admission at this point. You are right that you caught me in a lie, but it's not the lie you're thinking of. I was lying when I told you he was busy at work, and so was he. It was all a cover story to keep you from knowing that we were getting ready to move to a place where you couldn't find us anymore. Oh, but the other night, he was actually going to a cooking class. He told me that since he's at home all day doing most of the cooking, he wants to become as good of a cook as he can.
He's taking cooking lessons?
Yeah. Do you want to see some pictures of the food he's made for me? He's actually getting really, really good. The other day, he made some French dish for me. I don't remember what it's called or how to pronounce it, but it was awesome.
Don't waste my time. I know you're lying. You're just going to find some pictures on the internet and pretend it's something Nathan cooked. Why won't you just give in and admit you're making this all up? I know what I'll do. I'm going to call Nathan's company. That should settle things once and for all. After I call them and they confirm that Nathan did not quit his job, I'm going to have him divorce you immediately.
I mean, I guess you're welcome to go ahead and try. But today's Saturday, so I don't think there's going to be anyone at the office to answer your call.
I know that. Don't act like I'm some blithering idiot. I'll call them on Monday. You have until then to confess your lies and apologize. Good morning, Mandy. I hope I'm not bothering you at work right now.
Not at all, Mom. I actually took the day off today. To what do I owe the pleasure of you texting me this morning? If I had to guess, I'd say you probably just got off the phone with Nathan's old company.
Indeed, my dear. It seems that you were telling the truth after all. Nathan really did resign his position several months ago.
I'm glad you finally came to acknowledge the truth. With that settled, you no longer have any reason to interfere in our lives. I would deeply appreciate it if you would refrain from contacting either me or Nathan ever again.
Wait, I was hoping that we might be able to have a brief conversation. It won't take long, I promise.
What do you want? If you're going to ask us to give you your allowance again, let me cut you off right here and say that there is no chance of that ever happening.
But Mandy, it was my late husband's estate. It's almost completely gone.
I see. I guess you shouldn't have been living vastly beyond your means then.
That's not it. I was only buying the bare essentials. It's just, when you get to be my age, the bare essentials get more expensive. An old woman like me can't just buy any food or clothing. It has to be specially designed for an older body.
The bare essentials, huh? Oh yeah, Nathan told me all about your bare essentials. Back before we got married, you would go on multiple vacations every month. Treat yourself to extravagant food and drink at expensive restaurants. He told me one year you took his entire Christmas bonus from him and spent it all on one single handbag that's not even big enough to hold a cell phone. You were giving me all sorts of grief about my spending habits, but come to find out, you're the one who couldn't control her own expenses. Not only that, you weren't even using your own money. It was all money that your husband gave you or that you stole from Nathan. That's pretty low, Mom.
But I'm his mother. It's only natural that a mother would receive some kind of gratitude from her son, isn't it? I worked so hard to raise that boy, so I don't think I've done anything wrong by receiving a small portion of his income.
Well, you've already received a small portion of his income and then some, so you shouldn't need to take any more from him. From now on, you'll just have to live within your means like every other adult in the world has to do.
You mean you expect me to lower my standard of living? Don't be ridiculous. I've been accustomed to this lifestyle for far too long to give it up now.
Yeah, I thought that's what you would say. But I'm afraid that your greediness isn't our problem or our responsibility. You should take a page from Nathan's book. Despite earning enough income to live a far more lavish lifestyle at the time we got married, he was still wearing the same clothes he used when we first met. And none of it was fancy brand clothing or anything. It was all stuff that looked like he got it on sale at the department store. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but at the same time, you were forcing Nathan to pinch every last penny. You were living large off the money that you were taking from him.
Of course I was. I'm his mother. And it's not like I was keeping anything a secret. He knew what I was doing with the allowance he was sending me.
Yeah, he knew it all along and was always resentful of it. That resentment has gradually built up over time, and now it's gotten so bad that he's made the decision to cut you off completely.
Can't you please get Nathan to talk to me? I feel terrible about what I've done to him, and I want to apologize. You're right. I was being egregiously wasteful with the money that I was receiving from him. I realize that now.
That's okay. You don't need to talk to him. He's with me right now, and he's been reading this entire conversation. He says that he doesn't need or want an apology from you, and that if you're really sorry, the way he wants you to show it is by never interfering in our lives again.
I don't want to have this conversation through you. I want to talk with my son. If he's sitting next to you, then at least pass him the phone so I can talk to him directly.
You think he wants to talk to you, Mom?
There you go again, sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. This is a family matter between my son and I, and you have no part in it. Now, give the phone to Nathan this instant.
Yeah, this is a family matter, and Nathan is my family. And I will not sit idly by and allow you to hurt my precious family member any longer.
Nonsense. I haven't hurt him at all. All I want is to talk to my son. I have that right.
Just talking to you is a massive stress trigger for Nathan. It brings back memories of the time when you were badgering him into not quitting the job that was basically killing him. So if you really care for your son at all, you'll do what I say and stop trying to contact him. We've said all we have to say, so I'm going to end the conversation here.
Wait, don't go yet. All right, I understand. I was asking for too much, so I'll deal with just $1,500 a month. It won't quite give me the lifestyle I expect, but I'll have to manage. So please, don't do something that you'll regret.
Just $1,500? What do you mean, just $1,500? Do you think it's easy for us to earn enough money to both fund our own lifestyle after giving you $1,500 every month? You aren't showing even one iota of remorse. So again, we've said all we have to say and don't want you in our lives any longer. End of discussion.
But Mandy, I'm desperate. I'm begging you. You have to give me something. Anything. If things keep going as they are, I won't have any money to spend on food by the end of the month.
When Nathan came to you in his time of need, what did you say to him? You told him to suck it up and keep trudging forward. So if you're looking for pity, you won't find it here. I remember you once told me that as Nathan's wife, it's my job to support him. And now I plan to do just that. I'm supporting him right now in the best way that I know how. Protecting him from a greedy, wasteful, demanding, overbearing leech like you. I blocked Nathan's mother's number immediately after that. Sometime later, I asked a relative for an update on how she was doing out of curiosity. Apparently, she had to start selling the things she had bought with the money she got from her husband and Nathan in order to stay afloat. Long gone are her days of treating herself to stays in 5-star hotels and meals in 5-star restaurants. Now she's living off food she buys on sale at the local supermarket. I hope that this will teach her a lesson and that she'll come to understand just how awful her behavior was. Even if she does, though, I still won't forgive her. As for my husband, cutting off his mother has produced an incredible improvement in his mental well-being. He's off all his psych meds and he's even started looking for a job. I'm so proud of the progress he's made, and I hope to continue to do whatever I can to support him as his wife.
Hey, Allison. Just wanted to let you know I just got a call from my boss about a project we're working on. I've got a bunch of stuff I need to finish before I go home today, so it's gonna be another late night at work for me.
Oh, wow, Marcus. Thank you so much for that useful information. I really appreciate you keeping me in the loop on every minute detail of your workday. Is that what you expected me to say? Look, unless you've got some life or death thing going on over here, don't waste my time telling me stuff like that.
Really, Allison? Do you have to snap at me like that? I was just thinking, maybe you might like to know I'm not going to be home on time tonight.
And why would I like to know that? Seriously, is there any reason at all?
Well, I don't know. What if you were waiting for me to get home to get dinner ready? I wouldn't want you to have to stay up any later than necessary because you have to cook or clean or something. There are tons of reasons you might like to know.
You think I wait for you to get dinner ready? I already ate a while ago. And I go to bed whenever I damn well please. I don't need to wait until you're home. Honestly, going to bed without having to see your face sounds like the best way possible to end my day.
Allison, I really wish I knew why you started talking to me like this. What have I done to get you to treat me so terribly? Have I ever spoken to you like that, Allison? Have I ever insulted you before? For real, Allison, I'm your husband.
I don't know. Do I need a reason? Really, the fact that you would pull the "I'm your husband" card on me like that is reason enough for me to hate you, I say. And it's not just me either. Even Susie is saying that she doesn't want to be around you lately.
Susie's a teenager, Allison. She's in high school. I mean, sure, it does hurt to hear my daughter say that. But it's just a phase she's going through. She'll grow out of it.
You think this is just a phase? That's pretty wishful thinking if you ask me. Nah, this isn't anything she's gonna grow out of. She just hates your guts.
Really?
Even when you do come home early enough to eat together, she never wants to sit at the table with you. And she never says anything to you when you leave the house for work in the morning, right? Don't tell me you didn't notice all of that.
Well, in all honesty, no. I had no idea things had gotten that bad between us. Was there something that I did or said that made her feel this way? I guess you two do go out together a lot on weekends. I don't know. Is it maybe that she feels closer to you since you're both women?
Don't know. Don't care. If you want that to be the reason, then you can go ahead and think that way if you want. So is that all? Are we done here? How long are you planning on texting me about nothing of importance?
It's just, I've been working late a lot lately, yeah? And because of that, I barely have any time to talk to you anymore. I had a bit of a break and figured it would be good a timing to text you and see what's up. Talk about your day, see how you're doing. All I wanted was to talk, Allison.
Good for you. I'm not interested. If you want to talk to one of your office mates or something.
I don't just want to talk to anybody, Allison. I want to talk to you. Why don't you understand that?
What's there to understand, other than you're acting like a creepy high school loser, begging for attention from the cool girl in class? Seriously, you're being super obnoxious right now. Grow up and handle this crap by yourself. Don't throw your emotional baggage on me.
Wow. I'm sorry, Allison. I guess. I had no idea you would get so mad about me just trying to talk to you.
Uh-huh. Well, now you know. So how's about you get back to work now, okay? And for future reference, you do not need to message me about something as trivial as working late. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have way more important things to be doing than talking to you.
Allison, would you mind explaining this letter you left for me? Are you serious about this?
Oh, you're done with work? Wow, you got out a lot later than you usually do.
Yeah, we got another last-minute request from a client, so I had to stay until everything was finalized. But that's not the point right now. Answer my question. Explain this letter. What's going on with you?
I'm sorry, did I not write it in plain English? Reading isn't your strong suit, huh? I'm sick and tired of being your wife, and that's all there is to it. And seriously, what the hell are you thinking texting me this late? I'd like to go to bed if you don't mind.
I get home from working late, find the house empty, and notice this letter on the table. And you expect me not to text you to see what's up?
My God, you are dense. I left you a letter specifically to avoid having to have this conversation with you. Take a freaking hint, would you? For crying out loud, you don't need to text me to confirm every last detail of every little thing.
What about Susie? Where is she? It says in your letter that both of you were leaving together. Is she with you right now?
She's hated you for just as long as I have, maybe even longer. Once I brought it up to her that I was going to divorce you, she told me she wanted to go with me right away. She was asking when I was planning to do it, and telling me to make it happen as soon as possible. Oh, and since I know how dense you are, let me be explicit. Yes, she is here with me.
I see. So you're serious then? You're really gonna divorce me?
For the love of God, Marcus, yes, I am serious. I want to divorce you. How many times are you going to make me say it? How freaking dense can you be?
Sorry for wanting to make sure. If I had the wrong idea about this, I might have made a terrible mistake is all.
No need to worry, Marcus. You're not mistaken. This is really happening. We're leaving. But I mean, this isn't all bad for you, right? Both me and Susie hated your guts and everything.
Yeah, you're probably right. Man, I can't believe this is really happening. I can't believe you're finally gone.
Wait a minute. Finally? What's that supposed to mean? Did you want us to leave or something?
Oh, sorry, Allison. My bad. That was a poor choice of words. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. Forget I said it.
How do you expect me to forget you saying something like that? Oh well, if that's really how you feel, then I guess that makes it better for both of us. Can I take this to mean that you'll consent to a divorce then?
The two of you plotted in secret to abandon me, and only left a letter behind to tell me what was happening? Is there anything I could say at this point that would make a difference? So no, I don't intend to put up a fight over the divorce.
Oh, thank God. What a relief. I was absolutely terrified you were going to dig your heels in and fight like a little brat. If I knew you would have been this willing to go along with it, I probably wouldn't have left in the middle of the night like this.
What a shame. Anyway, I'll call up my lawyer and have him draw up the divorce papers. Would you be fine with coming over here one last time to sign them?
Well, I guess that's fine. But I don't want you to get all emotional and beg me to stay when I get there. You got that?
Trust me, Allison. I've been at the receiving end of more than enough of your invective lately to know that it's over. I don't have any intentions to try and convince you to stay. Let me know when you'll have time to stop by then. The weekend might work better, since I'll be working late most of the days of the week for the foreseeable future.
Something feels weirdly anticlimactic about this. But okay, whatever, I guess. I'll check my schedule and let you know what's a good day for me.
Dad, this is terrible. I don't know what to do. Mom and I are in big trouble. Like, really big trouble.
Susie? What in the world is going on? You haven't texted me in months, even before your mom and I got divorced. Why are you texting me now?
We're gonna be homeless. Please, Dad, can we come back and live with you? If you don't let us stay with you, we won't have anywhere else to live. We'll have to sleep in our car, or go to a homeless shelter.
Okay, just calm down for a minute, okay? I get that there's something going on with your housing situation. Start from the beginning. Tell me what happened.
What happened? What happened is your wife and daughter are in big trouble. Don't you get that? This is no time for you to be demanding explanations out of me. You have to help us.
Hold on there, Susie. Back up. There's a pretty big correction to be made there. We're divorced now. Your mom isn't my wife. She's my ex-wife. She's absolutely nothing to me anymore. So I have precisely zero reason to help her out right now. Don't you get that?
Okay, well, maybe you and Mom are divorced now, but I'm still your daughter. Don't tell me you're not going to take pity on your own daughter who's about to be homeless.
If you want me to pity you, then start explaining. Unless you don't want me to know what you've been up to for some reason.
No, that's not it at all.
Alright, then I repeat, start explaining. If you don't tell me what's going on, then you forget about me lifting a single finger to help you.
Alright, I got it. I'll tell you everything. So, after you and Mom got divorced, we moved again. We were staying with Grandma and Grandpa, but we moved again to another place.
Yeah, I kinda figured as much. So what happened next? You said you're about to become homeless. What happened at that new place?
That's the thing. I can't tell you.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Then this conversation is over. I don't have any time to waste talking to you if you're not going to be honest with me. Don't ever contact me again.
Hey, hold on. What's with you? Is this what being a father means to you? Aren't you the least bit worried about what happens to me and Mom?
Not in the slightest. Never show your face around here again.
But Dad!
Don't butt dad me, Susie. Let me tell you what. You've got some gall to come crawling to me and begging for the help after you abandon me like that. And not only that, you're refusing to even explain the situation to me? Get real. If you're looking for help, you'll have to look elsewhere.
No, Dad, you can't do this to me. I thought for sure that you would agree to help us. You're my dad. Don't you care if your own daughter has to sleep in the streets?
I don't recall ever saying I would be there for you if you needed me. That's your own fault for getting your hopes up. Oh, and by the way, what happened to your mom? You guys were really desperate for a place to live. It seems like I'd be hearing about this from her, not you.
Oh, Mom? She's busy at the moment.
BS. She's busy? Yeah, sorry, I'm not buying that for 1 second. Even if she was, she's not in the kind of position to use being busy as an excuse to avoid doing her own dirty work. Tell your mom that if she wants my help, she's gonna have to talk to me herself. I'm not talking to you about this anymore. She needs to wrap up whatever she's doing and pick up her phone.
I just heard from Susie, Marcus. You've got some nerve shooting down your own daughter like that.
Well. Looks like you finally decided to face me yourself. And now you're trying to make me out to be the bad guy?
Duh. You are the bad guy. Your daughter came to you for help, Marcus. She told you how desperate we were, too. And yet, you just completely blew her off? You're the worst father in the world.
I'm the worst father in the world, you say? Sorry, but I'm afraid you're mistaken. I can't possibly be the worst father in the world.
What? You knew your own daughter was about to become homeless, and you refused to help her. Are you really going to keep up this facade of being a good guy here?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. In order to be the worst father in the world, I would have to be a father, wouldn't I? So it seems to me like I'm categorically incapable of being the world's worst father, that's all.
Have you lost your mind? You're not making a single bit of sense.
No, Allison. I think you, more than anyone else in the world, know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not Susie's father. Am I, Allison?
Okay, the joking around has gone way too far now. You may have divorced me, but that does not relieve you of your responsibilities or your familial bonds to Susie. She's your daughter. End of story.
Okay, do you have any evidence of that? Do you have anything that proves that Susie and I are father and daughter? If you got something, I'd really like to see it.
Would you stop screwing around already? In case you need a reminder, Susie and I are about to lose our home. I don't have time to entertain you and your ridiculous fantasies about not being Susie's father. We're in big trouble.
First of all, it's not a fantasy. Second of all, it's directly related to the situation you're in right now. That guy just kicked you out of his house, didn't he?
What's going on here? This doesn't make any sense. How did you know where we are?
Uh-oh, this is a big development. Are you finally going to drop the act and admit what you've been up to?
I'm asking the questions now, Marcus. Now answer me. How did you know where we are?
It's really not all that complicated of a story, honestly. You were pretty busy for the last few weeks getting ready to put your big plan into action, weren't you?
You mean you noticed?
How could I not? You were barely even hiding it. You and Susie have been going out every weekend. You said you were going shopping for clothes, but all you ever bought was snacks and toiletries. You weren't even eating or using them, though. Just putting them in a box in Susie's room.
That's not enough to clue you into what we were doing. For all you knew, we were going to donate them to charity, or just use them as a stockpile of supplies for emergencies.
Yeah, that was the only clue I had. You're right. I wouldn't expect anything else. But that wasn't my only clue. I also knew that you've been meeting Susie's real dad in secret for some time now. I think it was sometime around late last summer when it happened. You and Susie went into a restaurant downtown with another man who I had never met before. Yes, Allison, I saw you.
Okay, we went to dinner with someone, and
ever since that day, Susie started treating me like dirt. Now, that still wasn't enough for me to suspect that the guy you met was Susie's real dad. But it was definitely more than enough for me to become very, very suspicious of the two of you. So, I decided to do a little bit of digging into you and what you've been up to.
What? So you hired a private detective or something? And that's how you found out that Susie wasn't really your daughter?
That's right. And once I had that piece of the puzzle, all the other pieces fell neatly into place. Like, for example, the reason that the two of you have been making preparations to move out of the house for so long. You were planning on moving in with him, weren't you?
God damn it, this sucks! I can't believe you had it all figured out. I thought it was covering my tracks for sure. I gotta say, I'm actually kind of impressed. You're not as stupid as I thought you were, huh? I mean, you didn't notice for the first 16 years of Susie's life? I thought I had gotten away with it.
So you're not gonna make excuses for yourself, huh? You're not gonna say it was a mistake? That you should have been more honest with me? None of that?
What's the point? It's not like it would make any difference if I did. Unless you're telling me that if I grovel at your feet that you'll forgive me. In which case, I would love the chance to grovel in person.
Yeah, you're not gonna escape responsibility for what you did that easily. So, let me see if I got this all correct. You moved in with your old boyfriend and Susie's real father. However, things didn't go as you had planned, and now he's kicking you out. So, since you were under the impression I still thought Susie was my daughter, you decided to use her to sneak your way back into my house. Does that about cover it? Too bad for you it didn't work like you had hoped.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Everything is working out fine. We'll be over there in an hour or so. Make sure you leave the front door unlocked.
I'm sorry, what? Have you been paying attention for the last several minutes? What makes you think I'm gonna let the two of you in even if you show up on my doorstep?
So, what? There's no blood relationship between you and Susie? She's still your daughter. At the very least, you've thought of her as your daughter for the last 16 years. And that daughter is now coming to you for help. Do you expect me to believe you're not going to help her out in her time of need? Huh, yeah, right.
Believe it or not, you're out of luck. I'm not taking you back. Sure, I raised Susie and gave her everything she needed for the last 16 years. Look how that turned out. She spat on my face and abandoned me for the man you cheated on me with.
No way. You mean you're really not going to let us live with you? You're such a jerk, Marcus. Seriously, you suck. You must be some kind of sociopath.
I don't think you're in any position to be calling anyone names, Allison. Now, if I made myself clear, then give it up. So your boyfriend dumped you. Sucks to be you. You'll just have to make it on your own like any other adult.
How am I supposed to make it on my own without a place to live? I'll take anything. Just cash to pay for a few months of rent is fine. So hurry up and cough it up.
No matter how many times you ask, Allison, it's not gonna happen. Ask yourself, why would the man you gave up everything to be with kick you out just in a few weeks? It was me. I made that happen. Why do you think I would go to all the trouble of screwing you over just to let you come back and live with me again?
You what? You made him kick us out? I don't get it. How?
It's been over a year since I figured everything out. I could have divorced you at any time I wanted, but I didn't. Why do you think that is?
I don't suppose it's because you simply cared about us that much?
Yeah, no. While you were getting ready to abandon me, I was getting ready for a special surprise of my own. A massive lawsuit for alienation of affection. So I made sure to dig up every single bit of information I could about both you and your boyfriend.
Alienation of affection? You're suing me? You can't do that. You're way too late. I got pregnant with Susie over 16 years ago. The statute of limitations has to have expired by now.
Did you really think I wouldn't have thought of that? There was a statute of limitations on alienation of affection, but it doesn't start until I become aware of your infidelity. Since I only became aware a year ago, I'm still well within the time period I have to sue you. I've already talked to a lawyer about this and everything, Allison. My lawsuit is all ready to go. I just need to pull the trigger.
Hold on. That still doesn't explain everything. You're suing me, right? That's all? What does that have to do with my boyfriend kicking us out? This is between you and me. It doesn't have anything to do with him.
I'm glad you asked. I told you before that I dug up everything I possibly could on your boyfriend. That includes where he works and most of his circle of friends. Think about it. He had an affair with a married woman and got her pregnant. Then, for 16 years, another man was raising his child. That's not exactly the kind of thing you like the people around you to know about, is it?
What? You mean you blackmailed him into kicking us out?
All I did was have a conversation with him about certain possibilities. In the end, he's the one who made the decision to kick you guys out, not me. I didn't force him to do anything. Granted, I'm not exactly broken up the way things turned out for you.
Well, congratulations, Marcus. Your evil plot worked. Just one problem. What are we supposed to do now? We've got nowhere to go. And now you're telling me that you're going to bankrupt me with a lawsuit? How are we going to live? Susie's still in high school.
Yes, it is a shame that Susie will have to bear the consequences of your actions. But you can't deny that it is your fault that this is happening to her.
Yeah, I messed up. Pretty bad, in fact. I'm aware of that. But Susie doesn't deserve to be punished for my mistakes. She was a wonderful daughter to you for most of her life.
1, she was never my daughter. 2, she hasn't been very wonderful to me for the past year. And 3, she's the one who chose her biological father over me. So when you think about it, yes, she does deserve to bear some consequences for all of this, because she was an active participant. Both of you are getting a heaping helping of your just desserts. Bon appetit! Not long after that, Allison's boyfriend followed through on his decision to kick both her and Susie out of his house. The first place Allison thought of to go for help after me was her parents. Unfortunately for her, I'd already gotten there ahead of her and told her parents all about her dirty little secret. They agreed to take in Susie until she graduated high school, but they kicked Allison right back out onto the curb. My lawsuit against both Allison and her boyfriend went great. For me, anyway. The jury found it particularly egregious the way she kept this all a secret for 16 years, only to leave me for him anyway. I was awarded a massive amount of damages. So, Allison has some rough times ahead of her, but things are going great for me. I'm able to focus on my work and my hobbies for the first time in forever. I spent more than enough time getting used and abused by Allison and Susie. From now on, I'm going to focus on myself and the people who genuinely care about me.
What gives, Alina? You left so soon. But even before that, you sat on the complete opposite side of the room as me. It's almost like you were avoiding me. I thought this would be a chance for us to catch up.
Yeah, sorry about that, Mom, but I had to go. I came with a friend and she had plans afterward. Also, I have a big test tomorrow that I still need to study for. So, yeah, as soon as the funeral service ended, we had to leave right away.
What a shame. It's been so long since I've seen you. I couldn't believe what a coincidence it was that I saw you there. Imagine, I haven't seen my daughter in years, and I happened to bump into you at a funeral. My goodness, it's like something right out of a movie. You've grown up into such a lovely young woman, Alina. I almost didn't recognize you at first. I was shocked when I saw that it was you.
I was pretty shocked, too, when I noticed that you were there. I mean, the funeral was for the mother of a friend of mine. Why were you even there? Did you know her?
Did I know her? Sweetheart, we were inseparable. Back when we were both in the PTA, we used to talk to each other all the time. I saw a flyer for her funeral service on Facebook. That's the only reason I knew she had passed away. I thought I would come by and pay respects to her and her family.
Okay, I didn't remember you ever talking about her, though.
And what about your father, dear? Why didn't he come?
Well, he never really had much interaction with her. He wasn't in the PTA like you were, since he was always busy with work. Why do you ask, though? Did you want to see him or something?
Who, me? Don't be ridiculous. If I never see that man again, it'll be far too soon. No, it's for the best that he didn't come, actually. Nothing good would come of us bumping into each other. Honestly, though, Elena, I know it's been a while since all of that happened, but I'm very grateful you allowed me to stay in touch with you.
You know, there's one question that I've been meaning to ask you for quite some time, Mom. Why? Why did you do it? Why did you all of a sudden disappear like that? It was a massive shock for me. And whenever I asked Dad about what happened, all he ever told me was that I should just forget about you.
Well, it's kind of a difficult thing to answer, Alina. Grown-up matters can be very complicated, you see.
Grown-up matters? Have you forgotten how old I am, Mom?
Yeah, you are. Silly me. I still remember you as a little girl you were when I left. I suppose if I had to give a reason, the biggest one would be that I was sick and tired of not having any money.
It was about money?
You might not have been aware at the time, but your father was only earning around $15,000 a year. That's barely enough to live on for just one person, much less an entire family. I had to work a part-time job myself in order to make ends meet, and I wasn't going to put up with that lifestyle anymore. I deserved far better than what your father could provide me.
And what about me, Mom? Was it worth it to abandon me over money?
To tell the truth, I wanted to take you along with me when I left, but I had no means of supporting the two of us just on my income. And you were always Daddy's little girl, so I suppose I simply felt too guilty about tearing you away from him.
Uh-huh, I see. So taking me away from Dad would be too sad for you, but you had no problem with abandoning me entirely? Do I have that right?
Please, Alina, don't make me out to be some monster. Of course I felt bad about leaving you behind, but you have to understand my circumstances at the time. I had been living in poverty thanks to your father for years at that point. I was on the verge of a mental breakdown. If I didn't escape from that living hell right then and there, I know I would have snapped and ended up in an insane asylum.
All right, I get it. It's all in the past anyway. I've long since moved past that, and I'm not going to ask you about it anymore.
Asylum. Thank you for understanding, dear. You always were such a sweet, kind, gentle little girl. But then again, you're not so little anymore, are you? If I'm not mistaken, you must be in college right about now.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to college in town.
Oh. Well, congratulations on making it this far, Alina. I'm surprised you managed to be able to go to college, though. I can't imagine your father could afford it with his meager income.
He worked harder than you can imagine in order to pay for my tuition.
I would have to say so. There's no way he could afford your college tuition without putting in a massive amount of effort. I mean, 1 year of college tuition cost more than he makes in a year.
Yeah, Dad's nothing if not a hard worker. Plus, he always puts me and my needs before his own. I respect him more than anyone else in the world.
Yes, my problems with your father never had anything to do with his personality. He was a fine, upstanding man. But you know, in the real world, personality only takes you so far. I simply couldn't stay with him, no matter how good of a man he was.
I don't doubt that there were a lot of things going on between you and Dad. I mean, I was just a little kid at the time. There's no way I would be able to comprehend it all.
Oh, Lena, you have no idea how relieved I am to hear you say that. Things didn't work out between your father and I, but I would still love to see you again sometime. There are so many things I'd like to ask you. We have a lot to catch up on. I missed most of your middle school years, and all of your high school years.
I don't know, Mom. I don't think Dad would be very happy if he knew I was seeing you in secret.
Please, dear, I'm your mother. Won't you let me get to know my only daughter? That's all I want.
All right.
Don't worry, dear. I won't say a single word to your father. He'll never be the wiser. You're right. I'm certain he'd be opposed to the two of us seeing each other. And really, I have no interest in speaking to him ever again anyway.
So, when do you want to meet?
And what about this Sunday?
This Sunday? You mean the day after tomorrow? That's pretty soon.
I know, honey, but I want to talk to you as soon as possible. Alina? What's going on? You're leaving already? You just got here, though. You haven't even been in the restaurant for 5 minutes yet.
Who was that guy who came with you, Mom? And why does he think he has the right to speak to me like that? Where did you pick that guy up, Mom? The strip club or something?
Hey! He's my husband. Don't talk about him like that.
I thought you were going to come alone. Wasn't it supposed to be just you and me? I was planning on coming to see you. I was never interested in meeting your husband.
Well, I told him I was going to see my daughter, and he said he wanted to come with me to meet you. He was curious about my life. What did you expect me to do? Tell him no?
After the way he talked to me just now, yeah, I wish you would have left him at home. I have never had anyone speak to me that way before in my life.
Oh, you're just being oversensitive. That's his way of saying hello. You should hear him when he's around his friends. He talks way dirtier than that. That's just how adults behave around other adults. You'll get used to it eventually.
In case you've forgotten again, I am an adult, Mom. And no one at my college has ever behaved like that around me. Is this the kind of person you associate with, Mom? Are all your friends a bunch of low-life creepers like him?
I don't like your attitude, Alina. I had no idea you were such a stuck-up little snot.
You know what I don't like, Mom? I don't like men twice my age that meet me for the first time and immediately tell me, quote, "Wow, you've got some big-ass honkers, girlie. What the hell?" And it's not like I'm some girl he met at the bar. I am his wife's daughter. He wasn't satisfied with just sexually harassing me either. He was bad-mouthing Dad, too.
Not. Oh, that? All he did was call him broke. What's so bad about that? I mean, it's true after all.
It's not a matter of whether it's true or not. I would never, ever associate with a person who speaks that way to and about other people. I'm not sitting at any table where he's sitting. I'm leaving, Mom, and I'm not coming back, so this is goodbye.
Oh. Fine, whatever. Go ahead and have your tantrum. We're gonna stay and enjoy the dinner, however. Oh, and there was one more thing I wanted to talk to you about tonight. I bet you can't answer the phone right now, so I'll just tell you by text. The truth is, the reason I invited you out to dinner tonight was to make a proposal that I think you're gonna like.
Oh yeah? What proposal is that?
Would you like to come and live with me? We've got a spare bedroom, and we'd be more than glad to have you.
What?
We have our own house, not an apartment, so you can feel free to come and go whenever you want, and won't have to worry about making any noise. And we'll give you 3 square meals a day. I bet it's been a while since you've had any decent food.
You have got some nerve saying that to me right now. You mean you want me to come and live under the same roof as that foul-mouthed creep?
I just got to thinking that I was able to escape poverty with your dad years ago, but you've been suffering through it this whole time. And I don't want my poor little daughter to suffer any longer. I talked with my husband about it for a bit, showed him some pictures of you, and he seemed really excited about having you live with us. You see, he's got a bit of a rough exterior, but there's a heart of gold beneath the surface.
And what about Dad, huh? What am I supposed to tell him? You think I'm going to tell him I'm going to live with you and he's going to say, "Okay, sure, sweetie, so long, have fun."
Yes. I don't get it, Alina. Why are you so concerned about what he thinks? You don't need to feel any attachment to a poor loser like your dad. You can come live with us and have a way better life. You can just give us a couple $100 a month for food and utilities. It'll be great.
Don't you dare call my dad a poor loser. He is by far a better, more hardworking, more caring person than you. You abandoned me.
I told you, I know he's a great guy and all, but being a great guy doesn't put food on the table. My husband puts plenty of food on the table. So go home, pack your bags, and come by the house later on tonight, okay?
Not in a million years. I wouldn't live with you even if Dad hadn't bought me my own house. I'd rather be homeless than live with you.
Wait, back it up. He bought you your own house. Nuh-uh, no way. There's no possible way a guy making $15,000 a year was able to buy you a house.
You're so clueless, Mom. You think he still makes the same amount as when you left us?
Oh no, don't tell me he changed careers or something. How much is he making these days?
I don't see any reason for me to tell you anything about what Dad is doing now. You don't have any part in our lives.
Sure I do. I'm your mother and his ex-wife.
You willingly cut yourself out of his life when you divorced him, Mom. And after what I just went through tonight, I don't even want to consider you my mother anymore.
Come on, Alina, don't be like that. Tell me more about your dad. You've got me curious.
Oh, now you're curious? The other night after the funeral, you told me you had no interest in speaking to him ever again. Now that you know he's got some money to his name, you're suddenly interested in him again? Just when I thought you couldn't disgust me any more than you already had.
Yes. All I want to know is how much he's making. You can tell me that.
You really want to know? Why don't you go and look it up yourself?
Holy crap! He's a CEO now? That's incredible.
Maybe you should have taken 5 seconds to search for his name before you called him a poor loser.
Yeah, well, I just did, and good grief. How in the world did he accomplish something like that? And he's not just the CEO of some minor firm that happens to hand out stocks. It's a legit company. Back when I left him, he was just some run-of-the-mill pencil pusher. What changed?
What changed is you leaving him. After you vanished, he started focusing super intently on his work. It's another one of those things that kids don't understand until they're adults. You leaving him because of money was excruciatingly painful for him. But instead of wallowing in self-pity, he decided to get the sweetest revenge on you that he possibly could, achieving major success.
Where did he get the money to start up that company anyway? He didn't have any savings.
An acquaintance of his provided the funding he needed. Dad always had a knack for making friends. That's one of the pleasant side effects of being a good person.
Okay, and then what happened? It's barely even been a decade, but he already made that company into an industrial giant?
He first started out doing some online sales and an accompanying delivery service. It's doing pretty well now, but things were pretty rough at the beginning. He decided to expand his operations to the Philippines on a whim, and it immediately took off.
Giant? You can say that again. Business is really booming for him. He has interviews in all the biggest economic journals. I never knew he had such a good business sense in him. So he's working overseas right now?
Yeah, he's based in Southeast Asia. He goes to Japan and China a lot too. Right now he's got a house of his own in every single country he does business in.
Oh, seriously? Man, if I had known he'd become this much of a success, I never would have left him. I could have had a house in the Philippines and Japan and a bunch of other countries I've never heard of.
Yeah, too bad for you.
And he bought a house for you too now, did he? What's the deal with that?
He's been overseas on business for about 1.5 years now. He was renting a house around here until recently, and he decided to talk to the property manager about buying it outright, and they agreed. It's a beautiful house in a safe neighborhood with everything I need within walking distance.
Wait, so you're living in that house all by yourself? Don't you get lonely?
Well, whenever Dad comes back into the country, he always stays here, so I'm not by myself all the time. But eventually, he's going to transfer the title over to me and make it 100% mine. He says it'll be a good lesson in dealing with real estate.
Wait, so he's gonna give it to you?
That's right. He said once I've graduated college and I'm ready to start living on my own, he's going to hand over the house to me. I'll be free to live here, sell it, or rent it out. Seems like he really wants me to learn about real estate since it's a pretty simple side gig to bring in regular income.
He's buying you a house as a study tool? Good grief, he must be absolutely loaded.
It's less about the money and more about the experience. He's been all over the world talking to politicians, celebrities, businessmen, and experts from a wide range of fields. He learned a lot from them and wants to pass on the most important lessons to me, I guess. This is one of them.
If he's got the kind of money to buy an expensive house for his kid to play with, then he's got to have at least a 7-figure income, maybe even more. You've got to know, Alina. Tell me, how much is he making?
Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't know.
You mean it's more than you can even comprehend? Oh my God. How much of an allowance is he giving you? Are we talking upwards of $10,000 a month?
No, it's not that much. It's probably more than most kids get from their parents, but it's not quite that much. Remember, he's been through poverty once before in his life. His spending habits haven't changed significantly since then.
Yeah? Then he's got to have a bunch of money in savings. How about you give me a piece of that action, sweetheart?
Excuse me?
Let's see. How about $2,000 a month? That's just a drop in the bucket for you, right?
Do you actually think Dad's gonna give you money after what you did to him?
What? I'm not talking about him, silly. I'm talking about you.
Me? You want me to send $2,000 a month to the mother who abandoned me?
So I took a little break from being an active mother. I still gave birth to you. I'd say that's worth a measly $2,000 a month.
Took a break? Is that what you call it when you walk away from your husband and daughter?
Just shut up already, would you? You've got the cash, so cough it up. If you don't want to do it the easy way, fine. Maybe I'll drop by your college campus and tell your classmates what an ungrateful daughter you are. Is that what you want me to do?
You have no idea what college I'm going to, and you don't know any of my friends.
Then I'll go to every college in the city one by one until I find you. If you don't want that to happen, then you'll do as I say without putting up a fight. Don't make me warn you again.
It hasn't even been a week since we've reconnected, and you're already blackmailing me? I can't believe I share some of the same DNA with a classless, greedy lowlife like you.
You had better be more careful with what you say to me, little girl. You do not want to see what happens when I get angry. I have more ways than one to make you suffer.
Looks like I may have been too gracious in my assessment of you, Mom. If that's how you want to play, fine. Two can play at that game, though. I just got done telling Dad that you were trying to blackmail me. You'll be hearing from his lawyers shortly.
What? Lawyers?
Your blackmail has caused me a great deal of emotional pain and suffering, so you're going to be held accountable for that. I'll also sue you to recover the costs of the classes I'm missing because I'm too afraid to go to school.
I haven't done anything worth getting sued over.
You threatened to ruin my reputation with lies if I didn't send you money. That fits the legal definition of blackmail to a T.
I didn't mean it. I was just bluffing. You know, blowing off steam, venting.
That's legally irrelevant, I'm afraid.
Ina, I would like to sincerely apologize for what I said yesterday. I let my anger get the best of me. I'll never do it again, so please, don't sue me. With the kind of lawyers your dad can afford, who knows how much I'll have to fork out for this?
I have to admit, you took me a bit off guard with that blackmail attempt. Do you really need money that badly?
Well, the thing is, my husband has a rather large amount of debt, and I happen to have a certain condition that is very expensive to treat. I know I told you it was a coincidence when I met you at the funeral, but it wasn't. I thought I would bump into you if I went, so I went.
So you're penniless, but you still tried to get me to live with you? What for?
I thought that if you moved in with us, then we could charge you enough rent to make the mortgage payments. I mean, you're young and beautiful. Young and beautiful women can make a lot of money in the right industry.
You disgust me. Are you out of your mind? You were planning on using me for money? And you were going to try to get me to do that kind of work?
I figured even doing that would be better than living with your dad. As hard up for money as we are, I thought we were still making more money than him.
It's not about money. Oh, good grief. Is that all you can think about? Even if Dad was still making $15,000 like before, I would still pick him over you. I would never choose to live with a wicked, abusive mother like you. No matter what kind of trouble Dad was in, he would never think to try to use me like you were trying.
Hey, you can't talk to me that way.
If the shoe fits. You showed your wicked nature both when you abandoned me and last night. And I saw the way your husband was looking at me at the restaurant. I know exactly what he was planning to do to me.
Please, Alina, give me a break. I'm sick and need help.
Sounds to me like karma's come to bite you in the ass, Mom. And being sick isn't an excuse for being an evil wretch.
Please, don't sue me. I'm begging you. I don't have any money to spare right now.
If you will promise to never interfere in our lives from this day forward, then I'll drop my lawsuit.
I don't suppose you could arrange a conversation between me and your father?
Dad says he doesn't want to talk with you except through a lawyer, and I'm going to block your number as soon as this conversation is finished. I never want to hear from you again.
I'm so sorry for being a terrible mother to you, Alina, but I'm only doing what I need to do to get by.
Again. Yeah, so did Dad. But the difference is that Dad worked his way from nothing to being one of the wealthiest people in the world. Meanwhile, all you've managed to accomplish is a massive black hole where your heart used to be.
Sure, you're saying that now, but I know that deep down you want to have a relationship with me. You just went out of your way to meet me, didn't you?
I just wanted to see if you were worth having a relationship with, and I got my answer. I'm through with you. After that, my dad's lawyers got a notarized agreement from my mom to never contact us again. She wasn't kidding about her disease. It's pretty bad and treatment is very expensive. But that's not my problem. Dad told me to forget her, and I plan to do just that. It'll be easy considering how busy I am with college stuff. I've been doing a lot of thinking on what sort of work I want to do in the future, and I've made my decision. I want to help my dad with his business. So starting now, I plan on studying harder than ever to be able to help him out as much as I can. Wish me luck.
Hey Tom, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Did you make it to the doctor?
No, not yet. I don't think I'm gonna go see a doctor today. I've been lying down and feeling a bit better now. Probably just exhaustion from work.
I was trying to call you. You haven't answered my call. Should I come home?
No, there's no need for you to come home just for me. Don't worry about me. I'm just trying to rest my eyes.
You've been so busy lately, getting home late every night, so probably not sleeping enough?
Yeah, that may be it. Just sleep deprivation, I think.
I notice you haven't eaten properly in days either. You need to start eating better.
Well, I don't have much choice. I usually grab something at work. They don't have many options.
Are you eating convenience store meals again?
I think it's better than nothing.
But you had such a bad headache you couldn't even get up, right? I'm worried. You have been taking a lot of painkillers lately. You should see a doctor. Do you want me to go with you?
You worry too much, Sarah. It's just a migraine. Today was especially bad because I wasn't feeling well and the weather pressure changed. I just need some time to rest.
How many painkillers have you taken today?
Just 2.
Since when? This morning?
Since lunch.
Okay, I hope it helps with your migraines. But anyways, isn't something off with your company lately? Making you work past midnights, even calling you in on weekends? Are they at least paying you overtime?
Well, some of it, but probably not all.
What do you mean by some of it?
They count the late hours, but not the weekend work.
Wait, so you're basically working for free on weekends? That's not right.
It is what it is. Everyone's short-staffed, and the company's not doing great financially.
Have they said anything about improving the situation?
They keep saying things will get better next quarter.
That is what they said last quarter too, isn't it?
Yeah, but what can I do? There's not much I can do about it.
But Tom, you've only made it home before midnight once this week. That is extreme. This is not acceptable.
Yeah, it's definitely different from before.
When was the last time you had dinner at home?
Can't remember exactly.
That's because it's been over 2 weeks.
Has it been that long?
It is way too different. I know it's not an easy decision, but maybe you should consider looking for another job.
A job change? I hadn't really thought about it.
I saw some openings at the company where Kenji works.
Well, I don't know.
Even if it means a slight pay cut, we'd manage. I can support us for a while. That's why we're both working, right?
Thanks, Sarah. But everyone else is working hard too. It feels wrong to be the only one jumping ship.
Are the others really staying, or just saying they are?
What do you mean?
Didn't Yamamoto leave last month?
Yeah, but that was different.
Maybe, but your health comes first. I know others might have their reasons for staying, but I want you to think about yourself right now.
Yeah, you're right, but I'm still okay. When I really can't take it anymore, I'll look for something else.
That might be too late, though.
I'll know when it's time. Don't worry too much.
You should not wait until you hit rock bottom.
All right. I'll say something before it gets that bad.
Promise?
Promise.
Still feels too late to me. I worry because you hardly ever talk about work.
I am tired physically, but I'm not really feeling stressed.
You used to tell me about your day every evening.
There's not much to tell anymore.
Even so, it is important to vent sometimes, whether it's about an annoying boss you work, not getting done, anything. I'm here to listen to whatever you need to say.
Yeah, got it. Hey, what time are you getting home today?
Around 7, probably. Why?
Just checking.
I might need to finish some reports though, so I will be around an hour late.
Oh, okay. Mind if I visit my parents?
No, not at all. But are you sure you want to visit when you're not feeling well?
Actually, I am already feeling better.
That was quick. The headache's gone?
I'm feeling much better now. Plus, Mom's been asking me to stop by. I thought I'd have dinner there.
You said you could barely move an hour ago.
The painkillers kicked in.
I see. You have been really busy lately. Okay, that's fine. Sorry I couldn't make dinner for you tonight.
It's fine. Have you eaten?
Not yet. I'll grab something.
Mom just texted me too. Don't worry about me. Just be careful getting home.
Tell your mom I said hi.
Will do.
Let me know when you get there.
Yeah, I will.
And don't stay too late if you're not feeling well.
I won't.
Tom, I'm sorry.
For what?
For not being home anymore.
Don't worry about that.
We barely see each other lately.
We're both busy. It can't be helped.
Maybe we should take a day off together soon.
Yeah, maybe.
How about this weekend?
I might need to work.
You have to work this weekend too? You should just not work on weekends, especially if they don't pay for them.
We'll see. I don't know how much work I have left by Friday, so it depends. I'll let you know. Sarah, I'm sorry.
What happened? Are you okay? What are you saying sorry for?
Are you back from work?
Just got out of a meeting. What's going on?
I think I'm done for.
What do you mean? Talk to me.
I can't do anything at work. My mind's totally blank. I can't figure out where to start. They told me to just go home.
Okay, that is fine. Did you already leave? Are you on your way home now?
Yeah, I'm on my way home.
Did something specific happen?
Everything's just too much. I feel like I couldn't breathe.
Tom, let's go to the doctor together.
The doctor? You mean a psychiatrist? Did others tell you to take me there?
What do you mean by others?
Did someone from my work contact you?
No, why would they?
Yeah, a coworker suggested it, so I didn't know if someone contacted you to take me to a psychiatrist. I told them I'm not really mentally ill and I didn't need to go.
Well, that's not something you can diagnose yourself.
I just need rest, that's all.
But Tom, you've been resting for weeks now. We should seek a medical advice from a doctor.
I know I'm not being useful right now, but I think I just need some rest. I'll lay down once I get home.
Yeah, but you're not getting any better.
It'll be fine. It'll pass. I just need some time.
That's for a doctor to determine. And you know, I've noticed you've been different lately. Even when you're home, you're spaced out. And half the time you don't even hear what I'm saying. So I am worried about you. Your coworker is right about you. You should see a doctor.
That's just because I was tired, nothing else. I don't need to go talk to someone about it. I don't think I'm sick. Like I said, I just need some time to rest.
Okay, well, when was the last time you laughed? When was the last time you felt happy? Any in the past weeks?
What kind of question is that?
I can't remember the last time you seemed happy or cheerful.
I'm just busy and tired, that's all.
See? You're too tired. That's the problem. When you're exhausted, your immune system drops and you get sick, right? Maybe your mind caught a cold just like your body can?
A mental cold, you think so?
It happens to a lot of people.
Maybe.
I looked up some clinics nearby. There are a few that takes our insurance and have good reviews.
You did already?
Yes, I really am worried. I don't want you to feel that way for more weeks to come, and I want you to get better as soon as you can. I don't want you to feel that way.
Okay, fine. I'll go, but I'll go by myself. You don't need to come with me.
I don't mind coming with you.
I'd rather go alone. It's personal and kind of embarrassing, so I don't want you to come with me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I want to research good clinics first. I'll look it up and see if I can find a clinic that takes our insurance. Don't worry, I can do it myself.
Okay, I won't go, but I can help deciding which ones to go.
It's fine. I'm looking it up as we speak. I think I found one. Let me see.
Great. Which one is it?
Still checking the reviews.
Send me the link when you decide.
Okay, but can I rest a bit first? I'm not really in the mood to talk to anyone right now. I just want some alone time. Mostly want to sleep.
Did you eat lunch? Do you want me to come home now and bring some food?
No, I haven't eaten, but I'm not hungry. You don't need to get me anything.
Tom, you need to eat something. You can't skip meals.
I know. I'm just too tired and I don't feel like eating right now.
Should I not come home early then?
No need. I'm not a child. I'm home now, so I'll see if there's something I can snack on really quick before I go lay down.
Good. I'm still a bit worried about you.
I'm really fine. I don't know what I'm gonna make for dinner for us, though.
Don't worry about doing anything. Just relax when you get home. Text me if you need anything.
Sure.
Thanks. If I'm home before you wake up, should I wake you?
No need.
Okay, get some rest.
Got it. Thanks.
Tom, I'm sorry. I've got overtime today, so I'll be late. My boss just told me.
Okay, how late are we talking?
There was a problem at work. I'll probably be around 2 hours late. I'm sorry.
Okay, today of all days.
What's wrong?
Nothing, just tired.
Do you want me to grab dinner on my way home?
That's fine, whatever you want to eat.
Did you go see a doctor?
I did.
How did it go?
It went okay, I think.
What did they say?
How do I explain this? They explained to me that in my case, I have difficulties. I'm not depressed every day, but some days are harder than others.
What exactly did the doctor tell you?
It's complicated and I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, so how about today? Are you feeling okay or no?
I'm feeling fine today.
So, are you saying today is one of your better days and you just have some bad days that you don't feel like yourself?
Yeah, something like that. They haven't given me an official diagnosis yet, but I think it's depression.
Okay, when will you know for sure?
Soon, I think.
I see. Hope you get the results soon. I know that will help us guide how to treat it.
Me too. Work keeps asking when I'm coming back.
They're pressuring you to come back?
Every day.
Can you ask for a note or something that you can submit to work? Maybe we should have picked a clinic that could give you a note right away.
Taking time to evaluate is probably better in the long run.
What's your next appointment?
It's next week.
Okay, do you want me to come with you?
No, I'd rather go alone.
I feel like it seems pretty obvious it's depression. Really makes me think overworking it is terrible and didn't do any good to you mentally.
Yeah, probably.
Did they prescribe any medicine for now?
Not yet. Waiting for the official diagnosis.
I could take tomorrow off if you need company.
Oh, you don't need to do that. I'm not that depressed.
Text me if you start feeling bad. I will let you know once I'm done here and I will grab some food for us. You don't have to cluck tonight, so just relax.
Will do. Good luck with your overtime.
Thanks. I'll try to finish quickly.
Hey, I'll be home later than usual today.
That's okay. How's work today?
I have a few more things to take care of before I can leave, but it shouldn't take too long. I'll be home as soon as I can.
I can make dinner then. Don't work too much.
Thanks. Oh yeah, I finally got diagnosed with depression today. The doctor is giving me a note saying I need to take leave, so I'll go get it tomorrow before work and I'll submit it tomorrow.
Really? What did the doctor say exactly?
That I need a rest and to take some time off.
For how long?
A month, maybe more.
Oh, okay. I don't think they will let you take leave that long, though.
What? Why not? I have a doctor's note. They can't force me to work.
They can't, but you might get fired instead. And I hear a doctor is planning to press charges against you. Are you okay with that?
What are you talking about all of a sudden? The doctor at my current clinic?
Yep.
Why would he press charges against me?
You tell me. You should know what you did wrong.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're not that stupid, are you? It's come out that you used an impersonator for a depression evaluation. You gave your insurance card to someone around your age to get a depression diagnosis and medical note.
That's insane! Why would I need to do something like that? That's crazy. Who told you that in the first place?
You're still trying to deny it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do I really need to spell it out? What you did counts as fraud. You know that.
These are serious accusations.
They're not accusations, they're facts.
Where's your proof? I don't know who told you that, but why are you taking someone's word against mine? I told you I went to see the doctor.
Want me to send you the security camera footages?
What footage?
Yep, the proof. One look at your face compared to the impersonator will be enough. Plus, the clinic has security cameras. Did you really think you'd get away with this?
There must be some mistake there.
Stop lying. The clinic confirmed everything with me.
No, I didn't mean to. I can explain.
Go ahead. Explain.
Sarah, I'm sorry. I was really struggling at work, but there was no way to quit or transfer. I figured medically was the only acceptable way out.
So you committed fraud to get out of work?
I didn't know what else to do.
You could have told me the truth. How hard is that? Instead, you committed fraud.
I know, but I tried.
When?
All those times I talked about work stress.
So you knew you weren't depressed. That's why you used an impersonator.
The stress was real.
But the depression wasn't. You faked it. Everyone gets stressed, Tom.
I really messed up, but the pressure at work was real.
How much did you pay the impersonator?
I'd rather not say.
What? You're so unbelievable. Who was it?
It was just someone I know.
Is that all you've been hiding from me?
Yes, I'm not hiding anything else from you.
You sure about that?
Absolutely sure.
Okay, could you stay with your parents for a while? I don't want to see your face.
What? Like, go stay tonight?
Yes, pack your things and go stay with your parents today. I don't want to see your face or to be in the same house.
What? You hate me that much now?
You committed fraud just to get out of work. What were you thinking? Oh, wait. No, you were clearly not thinking. I'm too angry with you right now, so I need time to think alone. I need you to go away for a while.
For how long?
As long as I need.
Sarah, please. After I rest, I was planning to look for a new job. Don't throw me away. I might not be depressed, but I really was at my limit.
I understand you were stressed.
Then why? You can see where I'm coming from, right? I thought that was a good reason to leave work. I just couldn't handle the work stress anymore, and I didn't know how to get out of it.
Just don't text or call until you hear from me.
When will that be?
When I'm ready. That's all you need to know.
Please give me a time frame.
I need at least a few days to think it through.
That's too long. How about we can talk about it tomorrow? I'll go and stay at my parents' for the night, but we can talk about it tomorrow.
No, I said you have to wait until I'm ready to talk to you. It's not negotiable.
A few days? Okay, I'll head to my parents now, but please don't tell them about the impersonator. That's all I ask, please.
Fine.
Thank you. I'll wait to hear from you.
Just go. Tom, I'm coming over tomorrow.
To my parents? Why? If you need something, I can come home.
No, stay where you are.
Have you calmed down a little bit? What do you want to talk about? I can come home to talk. You don't need to come here. What time do you want me to come home tomorrow?
No, I want a divorce. Don't come home. Have your seal ready. I'm bringing the divorce papers to your parents, so stay there.
You want a divorce? Why?
You're the one who lists everything. Are you seriously asking me why?
Is this about medical fraud?
Oh, that's a huge part of it, but that's not the only reason.
Okay, what else?
You used an impersonator for a depression diagnosis and are being charged by the doctor. That's stupid enough to make me want a divorce, but the main reason is the affair.
What? What are you talking about?
Can you stop acting surprised already?
What affair?
Did you think I wouldn't find out? You thought I was stupid or something? Don't try to deny it now. I know who she is, and I have proof. You can't talk your way out of it.
No, someone's lying to you.
I have photos and proof.
What photos?
On one of your overtime nights.
Who told you?
I suspect the affair weeks ago. A friend saw you on one of your overtime nights. I got confirmation 3 days ago, the same day you got your fake depression note.
No, it's not what you think.
So you weren't with Ashley on those nights?
How do you know about Ashley?
So now you admit it?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Sorry you cheated or sorry you got caught?
Both.
You do know. Sorry doesn't cut it, right?
I am sorry. What can I do?
Sign the divorce papers.
I understand. I'll agree to the divorce. I'll pay alimony too.
You're being surprisingly reasonable.
I just know I messed up.
Don't take back those words.
I won't. Everything's out in the open now. No point in making excuses. I hurt you, that's a fact. I want to show some decency at the end at least.
I thought you were being bold because Ashley was going to help with the alumni.
She won't be involved. I won't ask her for that. I'll pay it myself.
Good. Ashley probably too busy dealing with her own divorce to help anyways.
Her what? Her husband knows too?
Yeah, did she not tell you that?
No! How did he find out?
Should I tell you?
Please!
Turns out Ashley's husband was already suspicious of her. Ah, get this. He's the doctor you used your impersonator with. He and I met by chance when we were both investigating. Imagine his surprise when he realized his depression patient looked nothing like the guy in the affair photos.
Oh, what are the odds?
Yep, karma's interesting, isn't it? That's how the fake diagnosis came out. He was shocked to discover the medical fraud on top of everything else.
So that's how everything came out?
Everything. Yep, all your schemes are exposed. Try to live a better life from now on.
Wait, what's happening with Ashley's situation? Their marriage and all?
Aw, are you still thinking about her? How thoughtful of you.
I mean, I'm just curious. I just want to know at this point.
Well, I know they're divorced too. Can you blame him for not wanting a divorce? But I think Ashley's throwing a fit because she doesn't want to.
Really? She doesn't?
Yeah, apparently she's upset about the property division. She thought she'd get part of his pre-marriage assets. How stupid.
So she won't get any?
No, only assets required during marriage are split.
No way.
Look it up yourself if you don't believe me. Anyways, I'll see you tomorrow for the divorce paper.
Sarah, wait, please. I want to talk. I think we need to talk it through. We can't just decide so quickly.
Stop texting me. We have agreed to divorce. I have nothing else to talk about with you.
Just hear me out, please.
I've heard enough. I'm done.
No, this is wrong. I don't want a divorce.
Oh, wait. Now you don't want it?
We can work this out.
After everything we discussed, do you think I will stay with you?
I made mistakes. I know that.
Mistakes? No, there was no mistakes you accidentally made. You planned this, all of it just to get what you wanted. Because you are so selfish and you only thought about yourself.
No, that is not true. You're the only one for me. The affair wasn't serious. She manipulated me.
Oh, so now you are saying she manipulated you into lying to me for months?
I was confused. I didn't know better. I'm sorry.
Confused enough to fake a medical condition?
That was wrong. I know that. I wasn't thinking clearly.
An affair is an affair, regardless of how it started.
I'll end it with her completely. Please. I won't talk to her anymore.
Your relationship with her has already ended. She dumped you.
That's not true. You're my only one, Sarah. I'll go back to work and work hard. I'll never cheat again. Please, just don't divorce me.
I told you we knew everything, remember? We know about your plans to fake depression to make me leave you. You were planning to become abusive to force me to asking for a divorce. You were going to make me suffer until I left you myself because you somehow thought it was better for you to be left behind. I honestly don't know how you think things through. I don't understand you at all.
That's not true! I don't know who told you that, but that is not true at all!
Should I forward the message?
What messages?
Ashley's husband sent me a screenshot of your text with her.
He has screenshots of our texts?
Want me to quote them?
Those messages weren't serious. We were just joking around. We didn't mean anything.
After divorcing me, you were planning to live off Ashley's divorce settlements when she left her husband. Even your overtime was a lie. You're just with her every night. Don't talk about second chances when you betrayed me this much.
I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking straight then. I wasn't being rational.
Yeah, right. For 6 months.
I'm sorry, okay? I can explain everything.
Obviously, I'm more disgusted than hurt by the affair. I can't believe I picked such an idiot of a husband. I feel sorry for genuinely worrying about you. I was so patient and understanding, but you betrayed me. You mean nothing to me now.
I'll change.
Into what?
I swear I'll never betray you again. I'll cherish you forever. Please don't abandon me. Please don't leave me now.
Like you cherish me while planning to abuse me?
Those were just words. I told you I didn't mean anything.
You promised to cherish me forever at our wedding, too. I can't believe those words from someone who already broke them. We're done.
Give me one more chance. Please, I will do whatever it takes to make it work. I will work hard and come straight home. I won't go out with anyone you don't know. You can check my phone whenever you want. I'll share my passwords. I'll do anything. Don't throw away our marriage for my mistakes. I can change.
Please stop already. You embarrassed me. I can't with you. Rebuilding broken trust isn't easy, and I will never restart a relationship with a loser who abandoned me at first. Stop clinging to me. We're done. There will be no more of us. I will not give you anything of me as I have nothing left for you.
But I love you!
Oh, stop it. Stop lying already. We are done and we are totally getting a divorce. You already agreed with me when I told you in the first place, and I have the text. I'm meeting with my lawyer, so after I give you the paper tomorrow, you will not be talking to me directly. I'm so done with you.
Please, you can't just leave me.
Goodbye, Tom. Divorce. Despite Tom's repeated apologies, his parents couldn't forgive him after hearing everything. His company fired him when they learned about the fake depression diagnosis, viewing it as unauthorized absence. While the affair was shocking, Tom's stupidity was so extreme that my anger has turned to disbelief. Ashley and her husband also divorced, and Tom and Ashley broke up. I don't know what Tom is doing now, but since his family has cut ties with him too, I doubt he's doing well. While I haven't fully recovered yet, I'm trying to think of this as cutting a toxic person out of my life and slowly working on finding my own happiness again.
Kyle, you haven't replied. When are you coming home? I've made dinner just in case. I tried calling your office earlier, but your secretary said you were in meetings all day. Just let me know if you're on your way. I made your favorite tonight, the beef stew you liked last time. I spent 3 hours on it, making sure it's exactly how you prefer it. Remember when you said it reminded you of your grandmother's recipe? Should I keep it warm for you? The sides are ready too, those roasted potatoes you love. I even got that wine you mentioned wanting to try. The sommelier remembered you, by the way. Said you were there last week with some clients.
If I'm not home by this time, you should know I don't need dinner.
I thought that too, but remember when you came home late and got mad at me for not having dinner ready? You said you might be working late but weren't sure. That's why I wanted to check. You also told me I should always have food ready, just in case.
That was different. I told you I'd be home that night.
No, you didn't tell me. You just came home and got angry. You yelled at me for 20 minutes about being unprepared. I had to order takeout while you complained about my incompetence. Do you know how humiliating that was?
You're supposed to anticipate these things.
How can I anticipate when you don't tell me anything? Your schedule changes every day. Sometimes you're home at 7, and sometimes you don't come home until midnight. You used to at least text me your schedule, like you promised me when we first got married. Even a quick "working late" would help. Just something to let me know you're alive. I've been trying to be a good wife, but you make it impossible. I never know what to tell her anymore.
Look, we've been married for 3 years now. Can't you read the situation without me spelling it out? If you need to know, just text me.
I barely even see you these days. How am I supposed to know? You're gone before I wake up, even though you used to love having breakfast together, and you come home after I'm asleep. I've started leaving post-its on your pillow. Do you even read those? You barely even reply to my texts anymore. Sometimes I wonder if you're even reading them or if you've blocked my number.
Marie, what do you want from me? I'm busy running a company. I don't have time to text you every time you text me.
You weren't too busy last year when we went on monthly dates. You used to try for us. When we had Sunday brunches together, or the year before that. I remember you'd come home early just to surprise me. What changed? Was it the promotion? Or is it something else?
God, I really ended up with a useless wife.
That's cruel. Why do you say that to me? You used to be so sweet and caring. Now you just treat me like I'm some annoying old lady who nags too much. Like I'm just an inconvenience. Remember our first year together when you'd send flowers to the house every week? You'd always let me know if you were running late, and you'd apologize if you missed dinner. Now I'm lucky if I get a one-word response from you, or even see you.
See? You're just complaining again. This is why I don't come home early.
So it's my fault you don't come home now? Because I want to know where my husband is and because I care enough to ask where you are? Because I want to have dinner with my husband? Because I still believe in our marriage?
Just stop with the messages. I'm busy. You're getting too annoying these days. I don't have time for this.
You always say you're busy, but you manage to have time for everything else. You have time for golf with clients and drinks with executives. You have time for everything except me. I guess I know where I rank in your priorities now. You used to call me even during those big board meetings just to say hi. You said my voice calmed you down. You'd send me random messages during meetings with little hearts and emojis. You would text me just to tell me you were thinking of me. You used to say I was your inspiration. It's crazy how people can change so much in 3 years.
You changed first.
I kept trying to be the same person and to be the wife you fell in love with. I feel like something shifted after the first year. You stopped sharing things with me. You started keeping secrets. Was it after your promotion and when you became executive director? Or was it after you started hanging out with the executive team more? When did they start inviting you to their private clubs? So if we're talking about changes, you're not the same person either. You were never this cold when we first met. You used to defend me at family gatherings. Now you join in when they criticize me. You used to care what I thought. You respected my opinions. You used to ask my opinion on everything, even business decisions.
Well, I put in effort back then because I wanted to date you. You were the daughter of one of our suppliers, had good credentials, and looked the part. I thought you'd make the perfect match for an heir like me.
So that's the only reason you married me? And all those dates meant nothing? All those long conversations? What about all those things you said about loving me? About wanting to grow old together? The poems you wrote? I still have them all saved. The promises you made about building a life together? Were those all lies too? Just part of your plan?
Oh, come on, don't tell me you wanted me to say I fell for your personality. You're such a dreamer, Marie.
When you proposed, you said you loved me for who I was. In front of both of our families, you said I was your soulmate. You said I made you want to be a better person. You cried during your vows. Was that just another calculation? Another business strategy? Like everything else?
Yeah, I did like you back then. You didn't complain this much. But the decision to marry you was because you met my standards and wouldn't embarrass my family.
I can't believe you're saying this. After everything we've been through, after I supported your career, after everything I gave up for you, my own career dreams, my independence. So everything was just calculated? Every moment? Every kiss? Every I love you?
Don't be stupid. You think someone like me would marry just for personality? I'm my father's heir. I needed someone who wouldn't make me look bad.
What about our honeymoon? Those 2 weeks in Maldives? When you said you'd never seen anyone more beautiful? When you promised to always protect me? When you said we'd always be partners?
You're being naive. Marriage is about position and status. Everything else is just decoration, like you are to me.
I gave up my career for this marriage. A job I loved. A team that respected me. My friends warned me not to. Said you'd change after marriage. That you'd become like your father. I defended you. For hours I defended you. I told them they were wrong about you, that you were different.
And? Did you expect a prize for doing what a wife should? For fulfilling your role? For doing the bare minimum?
I want to work again, to have my own identity back. I miss having my own life, my own goals. I miss feeling like a person instead of a decoration, instead of your trophy wife.
Are you kidding me? Why should I let my wife work outside the home? What if people think our finances aren't good? Do you want to embarrass me? Make me look like I can't provide?
Nobody would think that. Lots of women work these days. Even executives' wives have their own businesses. Times have changed, Kyle. Women can have both, career and family. Sarah from your company, her husband is a CFO. He supports her ambitions. She runs her own consulting firm, and she's respected for it. And Jessica from the charity board? Her husband's a CEO, and she's a doctor. They're proud of each other. Why can't we be like that?
Those women probably have husbands who can't control their wives, like those husbands who are too weak to maintain order. Is that what you want people to think about me, that I can't handle my own wife? Only third-rate executives let their wives work. That's not our level. We have standards to maintain.
The housekeeper does all the cleaning, and all I do is cook, which you don't even eat. Lately, I've been wondering what I even got married for. The house runs itself. I'm not needed here. I spend my days alone in this huge house, talking to the walls. I haven't used my degree in 3 years. My MBA is collecting dust. My skills are getting rusty, while my former colleagues are advancing. I feel so useless here. Like I'm just here for decoration, like a pretty vase on display.
You're helping your dad, aren't you? Your father's company might be our supplier, but they're still just vendors. Are you in any position to complain? Marriage to me is the only thing keeping that contract secure.
What are you implying? That our marriage is just business? That you'd cancel the contract if I work? Are you saying you're using my father's company as leverage? You'd hurt my father's business just to control me? Just to keep me trapped here? You make it sound like I'm a hostage. Is that what I am to you?
Don't make it sound so ugly. Call it a mutual arrangement. Just be available when I need you and take care of the house. You've got a guaranteed lifestyle, so what's there to complain about? Most women would kill to be a housewife. You're either spoiled or just weird. You should be grateful. Do you know how many women want your life?
A mutual arrangement implies both parties benefit. Where's my benefit in this? All I see is you getting everything you want, while I sit here and waste away, watching my potential fade. Is this really how you see our marriage? Just a business arrangement? A corporate merger? Did you ever love me at all? Was there ever any real feeling?
What else would it be? You got the lifestyle, I got the perfect wife image.
The lifestyle of a prisoner in a golden cage with gilded bars. Is that what you think I wanted? What I dreamed of? So you're fine with things staying exactly like this? Me just waiting around for you forever? Like a pet?
I don't have any complaints about our life, except maybe your attitude. Show me a little more respect, and stop with the complaints. It is really annoying.
Respect needs to be earned, Kyle. You haven't earned anything lately. Except my disappointment and my regret.
Got it. Then no more unnecessary messages like this. Unlike you, I'm actually busy, so think about my schedule instead of yours.
I just wanted to have dinner together to feel like we're still married. To feel like I matter at all. But I guess that's too much to ask.
Stop being so clingy. I'm done with this conversation.
Of course you are. You're done with every conversation that matters. Just like you're done with us. Kyle, please come home early today. We need to talk about something important. I wouldn't ask if it wasn't serious. I've been waiting all week to discuss this, pushing it down. It can't wait anymore. Please don't ignore this. I really need you to be here. Just this once, please. This isn't like my other requests. Are you reading these? Your secretary said you're free after 6. I confirmed your schedule.
What's so important? Just tell me now. I've got plans tonight.
It's about our future. About what's happening to us. About us. About what you've been doing. What you think I don't know about.
What about it? Stop being so dramatic. You're always making everything into a big deal. Always creating problems.
Some things need to be said face to face. This isn't something for text. But you're forcing my hand. By never being home. By avoiding me.
Just spit it out. I'm in a meeting.
No, you're not. Stop lying to me. I called your office. You left an hour ago. It's serious, Kyle. I need you to take this seriously. For once in our marriage. I'll tell you, but you have to promise to give me a real answer. No more lies. No more excuses.
How can I promise anything when I don't even know what this is about?
This is why I wanted to talk in person. Fine, I'll just say it. This is an order. Kyle, I know you're cheating. I have proof. I know about her. Your secretary. I know about the apartment. Unit 508. I know everything. Every detail.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Did you really think I wouldn't notice? Notice what? That I know? That I've known for weeks? That everyone knows? Like the whole office knows? You've been coming home after showering somewhere else lately, and someone I know saw you with another woman. The perfume isn't yours or mine. You're not even trying to hide it anymore. Like you want to get caught.
So walking with a woman automatically means I'm cheating? I told you I was coming from the gym. You're being paranoid.
Is it normal to be holding hands with someone and going into their apartment building? At 9 p.m. on a Tuesday? Is it normal to buy another woman jewelry? From Cartier? The receipt was in your jacket. $15,000 for a bracelet.
Who told you that? Is that what your friend told you? Or have you been spying on me? Have you been going through my things, checking my pockets now?
No, I saw it myself. I was there. I saw you last Tuesday at the Sky Heights apartment. Building 3, right? The one with the blue awning? I waited outside for 3 hours.
So you've been stalking me? That's creepy! What kind of wife follows her husband? Are you that desperate? This obsessed?
Don't turn this around on me. Don't you dare make this my fault. Don't try to gaslight me. You're the one who made me suspicious by cheating, by lying, by betraying everything we built, everything we promised each other.
Oh, so what if I am?
What? What did you just say? Did you just admit it? What do you mean, so what? We're married. It's not right to have other women. We made vows to each other, sacred vows, in front of everyone we know. Does that mean nothing to you? Did it ever mean anything?
Come on, you're from a good family. You should know how this works. Every successful man has a mistress. Any CEO who doesn't is probably failing. It's part of the lifestyle, part of success. You're naive if you thought otherwise.
That's disgusting. You actually believe that? That this is normal? That success means betraying your wife? Breaking your vows? Is that what your father taught you? What he showed you growing up? Is that the kind of man you want to be? The kind who hurts his wife?
Don't bring my father into this. You don't know anything about my world, about how things work at this level, about what it takes to succeed, about real power.
Cheating is cheating. Don't try to justify it. You've hurt me. You've destroyed my trust, shattered everything I believed in. You've broken my trust, piece by piece. You've ruined everything we had, everything we built.
Why are you hurt? I pay all the bills, don't I? I give you everything. You live in luxury in a mansion. You have everything you could want. Designer clothes and expensive jewelry. What's there to complain about? What more could you want?
Is that all you think marriage is? Just money? A financial transaction? You think money makes it okay to do whatever you want? To hurt whoever you want? To betray whoever you want?
Yeah, that's what real wealth means. Money solves almost everything in this world. You can buy anything and anyone. It can fix any problem. It smooths over any issue and covers any mistake. That's real power.
Money can't fix how I feel. Can't fix a broken heart. It can't fix betrayal. Can't fix broken trust. It can't buy back my trust. Or my respect. It can't make me love you again. Or forget what you've done.
What's your problem? You've had zero hardships since marrying me. You live in luxury. What could you possibly be unhappy about? Other women would be grateful and they would know their place. They wouldn't question anything. They'd know their role. They wouldn't make demands. They'd know their place.
Maybe I'd rather have a faithful husband than luxury. Maybe I'd rather have love than money. Maybe I'd rather have respect than wealth. Marrying you wasn't my path to happiness. I see that clearly now. I was so blind before. So foolish to believe you.
You're so ungrateful. Do you know how many people are living paycheck to paycheck these days? Taxes and prices keep going up, and most people can barely get by. You live in a mansion with a housekeeper and zero money worries. You should realize how privileged you are. Do you know what others would give for this? How many women dream of your life?
There are things more important than money, like dignity, like self-respect, like having a husband who actually cares, who keeps his promises, like being able to look at myself in the mirror. Maybe I seem spoiled to people struggling financially, or those who never expected love in their marriage, but I just can't convince myself that I'm happy anymore. The mansion feels empty. The luxury feels hollow. I can't pretend anymore. I won't pretend anymore. Not for you.
Look, just get over it. Nothing's gonna change by complaining. Stop dreaming about some fairy tale marriage and accept what you have. Hell, you can even find yourself a man on the side if you want. Just keep it quiet. I don't want people thinking I can't satisfy my wife. That's generous of me, isn't it? I'm giving you permission.
Do you even hear yourself? Do you realize what you're saying? How twisted that is? You want me to cheat too? To become like you? Just to make yourself feel better? To justify your behavior? So you really don't have any love left for me. What happened to the man I married? What will you do if it does? You won't divorce me, right? You keep threatening me with consequences, with my father's business.
You know exactly what's at stake here. Don't play dumb. You know how this works, what I can do.
Have you forgotten something important? What about my dad's company? You need his business, don't you? More than you're letting on. More than you admit. You plan to keep the marriage as long as there's business between our families, don't you? Is that your real motivation? Your real reason?
Are you threatening me now? Don't forget your place. Don't forget who has the power here, who controls everything.
My place? I'm your wife, not your employee. And maybe you're the one who's forgotten their place. Who's really in control here?
Listen up. Your dad's company is just a vendor for us. We're doing them a favor. They're replaceable. We could replace them tomorrow with a snap of my fingers. You really want to play this game?
Is that what you think? That you're doing us a favor? That we need you? That we depend on you? Maybe you should check the numbers again. Look at the contracts closer.
If you want to keep your parents from ending up on the street, just be a good housewife and shut up. Know your role and keep it quiet. You need to stay in your lane. Don't push me.
My parents aren't as helpless as you think. They never were. You just assumed like you assume everything.
Ha! You don't know anything about business. You're just a housewife. What could you possibly know about real business? Don't talk to me about how it works. You can't fight me on this. Don't do anything else to piss me off. You've already caused enough trouble, stirred up enough drama.
You're always so quick to threaten people, to use force. Is that all you know how to do? Is that your only solution?
It's not a threat, it's reality. Just facts, business facts.
No, maybe you should check your facts first. About everything. About who needs who. About the business relationship.
What's that supposed to mean? Stop being cryptic, just say what you mean. Stop playing games.
Nothing. Just thinking out loud. About business, about contracts, about dependencies.
Don't play games with me, Marie. I'm warning you. This is the last warning. Don't push this.
I learned from the best, didn't I? All those games you played? All your manipulation?
You're getting too bold lately. Someone needs to remind you of your position, of your place, of who's in charge.
Maybe I'm just tired of being afraid of you. Of your threats. Maybe I know something you don't. Something important.
Afraid? I've never even raised my voice at you. Don't act like you're some victim, like I'm some monster. You're just spoiled.
There are other ways to be cruel, to hurt someone. You've mastered most of them, perfected them, really.
You're being dramatic again, just like always, making mountains out of molehills.
Kyle, I have one last request. Please stop cheating. Your mom asked me about it today at the charity event. She cornered me at the charity event and she told me she knows everything. Every detail.
What? Why were you talking to my mother? What else did she tell? What did you tell her?
She said it must be because I'm not being a good enough wife. That I should try harder and work harder. That I should understand men have needs. Like father, like son, she said.
Well, isn't she right? If you satisfied me properly, I wouldn't need to look elsewhere. So yeah, this is your fault. Your failure.
How dare you blame this on me after everything you've done? All your betrayals.
It's just facts. Ask anyone. Ask my mom. Any man would say the same. It's natural.
That's rich coming from her, considering her dad does the same to her. The affairs run in the family. Everyone knows about it. You know the whole social circle talks about it. Everyone talks about it behind your backs.
Hey, watch your mouth about my parents! You have no right! You don't know anything about my family and the history! You don't know anything about our position!
But it's the truth, isn't it? Everyone knows that. The affairs run in the family, just like father, like son. Like mother, like wife? Is that what you expect me to become?
You don't know anything about my parents' marriage and about their arrangement. You have no right to judge. Stop spreading rumors. Don't talk about things you don't understand.
Oh, I know enough. Everyone talks about it. At every charity event and every social gathering. Behind crystal glasses and fake smiles. You know how it is.
And now you're gossiping about my family? About private matters? How dare you, after everything we've given you?
I've had enough of all of this. Of the lies and the manipulation. Of the hypocrisy. Of this whole fake world. I just can't do this anymore. I don't want to live like this. I'm done. I'm leaving.
What? Leaving? You mean you want a divorce? You can't be serious. You wouldn't dare.
Yes, divorce. I'm done pretending. I'm done being your puppet and your trophy wife. Your bargaining chip.
You're not thinking straight. You're being too emotional right now. You're being irrational. You'll regret this. Think about what you're saying.
I've never thought more clearly. For the first time in years, I see everything now.
You dare defy me after everything I've given you? All the luxury and all the status? Your dad's company will be finished. I'll make sure of it. They'll never recover. You're gonna regret it.
Is that all you can think about? More threats? More bullying? Still trying to be controlling.
Go ahead, try it. Don't forget what you just said about my family. I'm telling Dad right now to cancel all business with them. Watch your whole family crumble. You'll come crawling back.
We divorced shortly after that. His father actually helped convince him to agree to the divorce. Then it turned out his father had already arranged another marriage for him. I guess that's all the value an ex-heir had to them. His new fiancée is another CEO's daughter, almost 20 years older than him. Kyle hates it, but he doesn't have any say in the matter. Maybe it'll work out, but either way, he needs to experience what it's like to have others control his life. As for me, I moved back home and returned to work. My old company offered me a position, but I chose to work for my dad's company instead. What I can do might be small in comparison, but I want to help my father however I can. I'm proud to have a father who understood my feelings and supported my divorce. I'm going to live my life with no regrets from now on.
Sarah, you won't believe this. James and I are having a baby.
Oh my god, congratulations! You guys haven't even been married a year!
I never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Are you sure?
Now that
By
I've
the
been
way,
put through
how's your
hell,
love life going?
I never
Any
got
chance of getting
anyone's
married
help.
soon?
I had to do it all myself.
No plans, really.
I don't ever
never
find
slow
someone
up.
first,
No,
but
I don't take
I'm
shit.
not
I
really
got
in the
no
mood to date
love
anyone.
for the fakeness.
But
If
don't
you
you
wanna
think
play
it's
tough
best
and
to
wanna
be?
hate
You're not
this,
getting
I'll always
anyone
show
better.
up and make a statement. I don't ever
Is it
slow
true
up.
you
No,
haven't
I don't
dated
take
anyone
shit.
since
I
I
got
asked
no
you to
love
after
for the
dating for like
fakeness. If you
forever?
wanna play tough and wanna hate
Yeah,
this, I'll
getting
always
cheated
show
on
up
after
and
8
make a
years
statement.
together. What does that to you? I'm not really interested in marriage anymore.
I'm not here to save the day.
I
That's
had
for you
no
to take
idea.
away. I could play a
You
million
never
mind
mentioned
games, but
anything
instead I
about
say
it.
something not illogical, something that is
My
topical.
brother's
Rub
sweet
it
like
on and
that.
watch it
He
go.
didn't
Make
want to
yourself
tell anyone
unstoppable.
about
Dreams
what
are
happened to me.
irresponsible, but they're always
Was it
possible.
really that
If you just
serious?
believe, you
Maybe
could be
years
so
is such a
remarkable.
long
Thoughts in my
process.
head, a
Did
collage
you
and
ever
they
think
spread. I'll be
about
great
why he
one
might
day,
have
going
cheated?
off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up. No, I'm
But
not
don't you
giving
think
in.
you're
I will make
partly
it to the top,
responsible?
taking
I
off
mean,
in the wind. I
you
gotta
must have
make
done
it.
something to
I'm
make him
saving every
cheat.
day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind it Maybe, can hardly but take it.
cheating
I'm
is wrong
chasing a
no
dream
matter
that
what
I've
the
had for
reason.
several
Don't you
ages of
agree?
vacant. Modern kingdom for the
Yeah,
taking.
I guess. 2 whole
Now that
years
I've
of
been
being
put through
cheated on,
hell,
though?
I
Must have
never
been
got
rough finding
anyone's
out you were
help.
fooled for so
I had
long.
to do it all myself.
That ex of
I
yours
don't ever
isn't
slow
kidding.
up, no
He's
I don't
gonna
take
cheat
shit.
at
I got
least
no
a bit
love
hot.
for the fakeness.
What do
If you
you
wanna
mean by
play
that?
tough and wanna hate this, I'll
Oh,
always show
no,
up
really?
and make a
Just
statement.
cheating out
I don't
loud?
ever slow up, no I don't take
But
shit. I got
seriously,
no
you
love
can't let
for the
one bad
fakeness. If you wanna
experience
play
ruin your
tough
whole
and
life.
wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a
You know what they
statement.
say, there are plenty of fish in the sea. So I guess some people are just meant to be single. You know, once you get over your trauma, you could always be our baby's godmother. You make good money, right? Think of our baby as your own. Well, maybe that's not the right way to put it.
That's thoughtful of you.
I mean, since you probably won't have kids of your own, you must have lots of extra money being single, right? Oh, and don't forget about my pregnancy gift, not just the baby shower gift, okay?
If you want.
Great! I'll send you some links to things I'd like later. You know, you're so lucky you can spend all your money on yourself. And now our baby, too. I mean, that's what family is for, right?
Right.
Hey sis, have you heard the news? Rose is pregnant!
Yeah, Rose told me. Congrats. My little brother is going to be a dad.
Stop making it sound so dramatic. It's weird hearing you talk like that.
What do you mean? I still remember when you were just a kid like it was yesterday.
You're really gonna go there? Remember when you used to pack my lunches for school?
Of course I do. You were so picky about the way I cut your sandwiches.
Hey, diagonal cuts taste better and you know it.
You still believe that? You're going to be responsible for someone else's lunches soon.
Now you sound like Mom. Though I guess you basically were like a mom to me. You took care of me when Mom and Dad were always busy with work.
I'm just so proud of how far you've come. Good college, great job, and such a beautiful wife. You've done well for yourself.
I just got lucky. Still can't believe someone like Rose would marry a boring guy like me who only knew how to study.
You're not boring. You're dependable. That's important.
Maybe. Rose says I work too much, though.
Is everything okay?
Though, is it just me, or has Rose been acting different lately? She wasn't always this demanding, was she? She used to be more modest, right?
What do you mean? Did something happen with Rose?
Well, nothing major, but she asked me to tell you to give both pregnancy and baby shower gifts. Isn't it kind of rude to ask for gifts directly?
Oh, don't worry about it. Rose can be a bit spoiled sometimes. She's probably just gotten comfortable enough with me to show her true colors.
You think so? Like she's treating you as family now? Should I be happy about that?
She was pretty direct about expecting gifts, which surprised me.
She's been asking for a lot lately. New furniture, bigger apartment.
That's normal for expecting parents, isn't it?
I guess, but sometimes it feels like... Never mind, I'm probably overthinking things. I'm really sorry about that. I'll talk to her. She probably doesn't mean any harm, though. She's just excited about the baby.
True, anyone would be excited about having a baby, but you might want to address her behavior before it causes problems with other people.
Hey, do you not like Rose?
That's not it at all.
Are you sure? You seem different when you talk about her.
I just want what's best for you.
Oh, good. I was worried you were mad at her. Yeah, she can be a bit forward sometimes, but that's what attracted me to her, you know? I like strong women. We even have someone like that at work, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, maybe it's good to be strong in today's competitive world. If it's a girl, she might grow up to be strong like Rose.
Just don't worry about the gifts, okay?
Are you kidding? This is different. I want to celebrate with my baby niece or nephew. Let me spoil them a little.
Don't go overboard.
I'm not. I'm just excited to be an aunt. Besides, I make good money, remember?
That's what Rose said, too.
What do you mean?
Nothing. She just mentions your salary sometimes. Well then, reliable Aunt Sarah, make sure you spoil our kid rotten when they're born.
Of course I will. That's what big sisters are for.
Thanks, sis. I mean it.
You know you can talk to me about anything, right?
I know. I just want everything to be perfect, you know?
It will be. Just take it one day at a time. Congratulations on becoming a dad! How does it feel?
Thanks. It's a girl. I really want to see her. Hey, can you send me a picture? I want to see what she looks like.
I can, but first, can I ask you something?
What's up?
Do newborns normally have blonde hair and blue eyes?
That's exactly what I was wondering about.
James?
Is it true that hair and eye color can change as babies grow?
Well, they can change a little.
Then maybe there's nothing wrong. I've heard some people's hair gets darker as they get older, but I've never heard of a newborn being blonde with blue eyes.
Have you talked to the doctors?
I was so shocked I had to ask. Are you sure she's mine? Could there have been a mix-up?
What did they say?
The nurses say she's definitely mine. I actually asked one of them quietly, "My baby looks kinda Caucasian. Is she really mine?" But they were pretty vague about it. I guess the hospital can't really get involved in family issues like this.
Where's Rose now?
In her room, she won't look at me. What's going on? What should I do?
Have you talked to Rose about it?
She won't even talk to me now. She's furious.
Why is Rose angry?
When I saw the baby, I blurted out, "Is she really mine?" Rose flipped out, saying, "How dare you say that to your wife who just went through labor?" Then she kicked me out of the room. I'm just standing in the hallway now, totally lost.
Did she say anything else?
She just started crying and told me to get out. The nurses keep giving me these looks. Should I go back in and apologize?
Wait a minute, let me think.
I feel like I'm going crazy. Maybe I'm just overthinking this.
Well, I can see why you'd have doubts, but maybe it's some kind of medical condition? Should I try talking to Rose?
Would you? But what if she gets angry again? I mean, it's okay if she gets mad at you instead of me, but if it turns out to be a medical condition, we'll need to apologize.
Let me handle it. You should take a walk. Clear your head.
What if Rose is right? What if I'm just being paranoid?
We need to know the truth.
But what if the truth isn't what I want to hear?
One step at a time, okay?
I keep thinking about the past few months.
What do you mean?
Rose has been acting strange, taking lots of calls in private. Said she was meeting friends I'd never heard of before. God, I feel sick.
Stay calm. I'll message Rose now.
Thanks, sis. I don't know what I'd do without you.
That's what family is for.
Real family.
Let me talk to Rose. I'll let you know what she says. Rose, congratulations on the delivery. I heard about the baby having blonde hair and blue eyes. James told me about it.
It's a pigmentation condition. Are you doubting me too? This is awful. I just went through labor and I'm exhausted.
How could you and your brother say such things? Well, it is unusual, isn't it? If it's a medical condition, that's fine. But I saw the picture James sent me, and doesn't she look kind of not Asian at all?
She looks completely Japanese. Are you accusing me of cheating? I would never do something like that.
Which medical condition is it exactly?
I don't have to explain anything to you.
As the baby's aunt, I'm just concerned.
Concerned or looking for something to criticize?
We don't want to think that either.
You've never liked me, have you?
This isn't about liking or not liking you.
Yes, it is. You've always looked down on me. You think you're so much better than everyone else. You're just trying to ruin my happiness.
Rose, this is serious. We need to talk about this.
You two are terrible. I'm so disappointed in James. Once I'm discharged, I'm taking the baby and leaving.
What? Where would you go with a newborn? Your parents' house? But that's so far away. You're planning to travel that far with a newborn?
That's none of your business, and I'm not telling you where I'm going.
Think about what you're saying. You just gave birth.
I don't need your advice.
Rose, calm down. We're not trying to accuse you. We just want to understand what's going on.
There's nothing to understand. You're just trying to cause problems. You just hate me, don't you? You're trying to find fault with my baby because you're jealous.
I'm not jealous of you.
Yes, you are. You're jealous because you got cheated on and couldn't find happiness as a woman. You're envious that I'm married with a baby, aren't you?
This isn't about me.
It's always been about you. You've always tried to control James. You're just bitter because someone finally took him away from you.
Stop making up accusations.
You're the one making accusations. Like I said before, I'm not jealous.
Then explain the baby's appearance.
Yeah, right. I've always thought you seemed like the jealous type. This is why I hate bitter old maids.
Who are you calling an old maid?
Well, that's what you are. A sad, bitter woman who let her man get away. Bitter old maids can't stand seeing anyone happier than them. God, I'm so mad. You'll regret underestimating us. Just you wait.
What exactly will I regret? everything. The way you've treated me, the things you've said. I think you're the one who'll regret things. Is that a threat? It's a fact. You don't know anything. I know more than you think. By the way, I should tell you, I just told my husband I want a divorce. After thinking it over, I just can't forgive what he did. The divorce is because of my brother? Of course it is. He actually asked if the baby was his. I'm deeply hurt by his words. I'll be seeking emotional damages in court, and he'll have to pay child support until she turns 18. James was right to ask. Your reaction says everything. What's that supposed to mean? He doesn't need to pay child support. She's not his child. What? Still on about that? Since you've been investigating me with a private investigator, things have been really difficult. If the baby was still here, we could do a DNA test to prove James is the father. I had to collect evidence the hard way by hiring my own investigator. Your own investigator? A private investigator, like a detective. Remember when I told you about my ex cheating on me? I used the same agency then. I had them investigate you. Me? What exactly were you hoping to find? Something I could use. Anything. How dare you! I haven't done anything wrong. You've been seeing that American guy who loves Japanese culture, haven't you? You met him at a coffee shop 2 weeks ago. Were you wearing makeup then, too? I know all about him. He moved here because he was so interested in Japanese culture, right? Leave him out of this. You've been following me? So you admit it? That you cheated? There's no point in denying it anymore, is there? I'm glad you're not stupid enough to keep denying it after giving birth to such an obviously half-white baby. How long have you been seeing him? About 1.5 years. I was getting bored with married life, and when I met him, one thing led to another. 1.5 years? You were already seeing him before the wedding? It wasn't serious at first. You're the worst. I'm sorry, I was afraid to admit it because I thought you'd sue me for damages. Were you planning to have my brother raise this child as his own if he hadn't said anything? Didn't you feel bad for him at all? I did feel guilty, but I can't survive if James leaves me. I thought I had to trick him somehow, for the baby's sake. For the baby's sake? Or for your sake? You don't understand how scary this is. Talk to your American boyfriend about raising the baby. Why try to burden my brother with it? He doesn't believe in marriage, and I haven't told him about the baby. Even if I did, he'd probably just flee back to America. So you plan to trap my brother instead? What choice did I have? Are you kidding me? Why should my brother clean up your mess? If your lover runs back to his country, raise the child yourself, or go back to your parents and have them help you. I can't tell my parents. My dad is super strict. If he finds out I cheated and got dumped by my husband, he'll disown me. Then figure it out yourself without depending on others. I can't do this alone. You have to help me. Help you deceive my brother? Don't make it sound so simple. Raising a child is hard. Please tell James not to ask for damages, and I want a fair division of assets, too. Fair? After what you did? I deserve something for my time with him. Oh, I'm sorry. Since I've never been married, I guess I don't understand a mother's struggles. And I definitely can't understand the mindset of a cheating woman. You're heartless. And you're shameless.
I'll make you both regret this.
Good luck with that. I have all the evidence.
You'll never understand what it's like to be a mother.
No, but I understand what it's like to be honest. James eventually divorced Rose. He rejected all of her unreasonable demands. Rose then tried to marry her American boyfriend, but he fled overseas and cut off all contact. She borrowed a lot of money to go to America to search for him, but never found him. With no other options, she had to turn to her parents. They agreed to raise the baby, but disowned Rose in the process. She disappeared after that. Wherever she went, she had substantial debt, so her life couldn't have been easy. As for James, despite everything that happened, he started dating someone new just a year after the divorce. True to his preference for strong women, he showed remarkable resilience.